Welcome to the Horror Hangout, a podcast where film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and talk about them. My name is Ben Errington, and today I'm joined by regular co-host Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. Hello, Ben, and if I might be so bold as to say, Merry Almost Christmas.
Merry Almost Christmas to you, Andy Conduit Turner, and Merry Almost Christmas as well to a very, very special returning guest, John Crinan.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, a Scottish genre author and filmmaker. Welcome back to the show. John, hello.
Hello, both. It's wonderful to be back. It feels like it has been a very long time. It both feels like and has been a very long time since I've been here. And it's wonderful to see both your faces.
It's
Yeah,
lovely to see your face as well.
see you
I'm,
again. Yeah,
I mean, it does on your Instagram. It does say Scottish genre author. I wasn't just.
No, I
Adding
did like the intro. I didn't even think about these things. I haven't been on a podcast for a while. I don't do the whole intro thing anymore. I've disappeared, but that's absolutely right. I am
he's been in the
Scottish.
lab like Dre, putting these things together.
You're in the lab like Dre, cooking up various horrific things. I mean that as a compliment, of course.
Of course, yeah, yeah. Things are bubbling away in the background, and it's all very fun. But I have been very quiet, so this is me coming out of retirement.
I kind of like that though. I like the air of mystery of people who are kind of a bit quieter. I feel like I can't shut up, you know?
No, see, I'd like to be a little bit more like that. I'm just not particularly good at social media. I went through a phase where I was pretty good, and I was doing podcasts and stuff like that,
Mm.
and I've dropped the ball on it, man.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
we
good at it.
even when I was on your podcast, I think we talked a lot about social media and everything, didn't we?
Gosh,
Uh,
that's yeah, I remember that now. Yes, of
yeah,
course.
that was a
Everyone
blast
go
from the
listen
past.
to.
My
I've,
follower count has probably gone up by about 50 people since then. Uh,
Mine's probably gone down.
yeah. Andy, what about you? Yours is
Mine,
plateaued.
mine fluctuates ever so slightly because occasionally a spam bot will follow me for a couple of days. Feel very popular for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was talking about this recently, the social media reach. And I say this knowing full well that a picture of my dog is better than anything I truly will ever create and put out into this world. But it is depressing when it's like, hey everyone, I have written, edited, recorded, faithfully crafted for you this story which I'm putting out for free. All I want is 20 minutes of your time to listen to it. Reach, three people viewed this. And then it's like, here's a picture of my dog, or AI shit, isn't it? 8,000 million people.
I mean, that's pretty good. You just need to post that and then add the little link to whatever you've created on the end.
Put a picture of Ricky and then reply to it saying, by the way, I've written a book.
By the way, I've written a
Yeah,
book. People go, not interested, mate. Not interested.
have Ricky sitting next to the book.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, very good idea.
Yeah, you're fine. I should
Yeah.
employ my cats for something similar. There's not,
Mm.
yeah, I think my cats get some engagement when I have posted them. I don't know. I don't even look at these things. But yeah, maybe a New Year's resolution for me to be a little bit better because I've got some stuff to shout about, and as we all do. So
Mm.
we
Well, you've got
should.
some stuff to chat about. Of course, don't tell us every minor detail because we want people to find out for themselves. But also, we ain't got time for that. So tell us a little bit about what you have been working on last year. I know last time we spoke, I think we were talking about the short film that you were working on,
Yeah.
Schlock and Load. But is it right? That's on the back burner currently.
Well, yeah, there's been everything takes much longer than I expect it to. So I've been making things and have things bubbling away very, very, very slowly.
Mm.
And Schlock and Load is my baby. I love it. But it did sit on the back burner most of this year while I worked on a novel with Michael David Wilson, who
Mm.
some of your listeners and viewers may know. He's the host of This Is Horror. He's written a number of great books, and we've collaborated on a monster in size. It's not necessarily a monster book novel, and that's been me for the last year, really. But I've dusted off Schlock and Load. We're finishing it off just now. We're adding. I guess this is a bit. I guess I can say it, although I haven't talked about it publicly anywhere. We're adding a little stop motion animation sequence to the end, which I'm
Oh,
ridiculously excited about because we didn't know what we were doing when we shot it. it's a little bit kind of rough around the edges. And I've gone away and shot another film since then, which I also haven't announced and spoken about, and no one knows about. I'll keep a lid on that just for a second because we got some cool stuff coming maybe early next year on that. But with everything we learned on that second film, I've been able to go back to this little special schlock and load that I love so
Oh
much,
wow,
and
that's
yeah,
good.
add some bits and bobs. So it's been busy, but I've been very quiet.
I mean,
Lovely.
you've been quiet, but I feel like you're doing the important stuff, you know? You're actually working on things.
He's out there doing it, and he's out here to talk about a Christmas horror movie, the two most important things that any creator can
Absolutely.
do in this world.
Can you tell us much about the book with David Wilson? How did it even how did the idea sort of
Oh
come
gosh.
to pass?
Yeah, so it has been sort of spoken about publicly a little bit on This Is Horror. I'm not sure if we've announced the title or anything like that yet, so I'll or even a pitch for it, but I can tell you how it came about. Basically, myself and Michael are really close pals. During lockdown, we were well, he was actually on my podcast as well. Now that I think about it, Ben, because you've already mentioned it. Back in the day,
Hmm.
he was talking about his very first novella on my podcast, and we've been firm friends ever since. He lives in Japan. Um, the book is set in Japan, and we just had very, very regular phone calls through lockdown, through the years, and we started. Yeah, I pitched this idea for not even necessarily for us to work together, but I was talking about an idea and pitched this idea for a book to him many years ago, and we he liked it, and we decided to write it, and yeah, it's sort of taken over our lives a little bit for the last. It's certainly the last 12 months, perhaps longer. And yeah, there'll be a lot of information coming about that over the course of
Hmm.
the next year. It's epic. The draft that we currently have is around about 600 pages. It's the longest thing that either of us have written. It's a monster, and
Those are kingy
it's
numbers. Come on.
yeah, it's going to
That's
be a
not a
They
bit.
book,
are.
mate. That's a tome.
It's a bit of a doorstop. And who knows if it, we're editing it right now. It may
Hmm.
go down, but I can't. I told you guys before we went live. In the edit so far, we've only added words rather than take them away. So the word count has gone up, but who knows how it will, what will happen
Just
as
reduce the font
it.
size. It'll be fine.
We'll take the font size. We'll do all the tricks. We'll make the
8 point.
margins smaller. It'll
Yeah.
be fine. Yeah,
It'll be fine.
and
These 15 words need to come out, but I've got 75 words that
Put
probably
in.
will fit slightly better. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Talking
But
about this book and this creation, I
oh,
hate to have to add there, Ben, though, my genetic problem has kicked in, and much like Raddy Nikolov's name goes with the Jewel of the Fates, and my name goes with the Chorus of You to a Kill, Michael David Wilson will go to the downward portion of Macklemore's thrift shop instead of This Is Fucking Awesome. His name fits in it perfectly, just so you know.
Very
Michael
good. Very
David
good.
Wilson. There you go.
amazing.
Very low as well. Baritone.
That's what I'm going to think every time I speak to you.
Exactly. I'm sorry to ruin it for everybody, but now every time you see his name on a bookshelf,
Yeah, there we go. You'll be thinking Macklemore. What was the collaboration process like on such a huge project like that as well? Like that must have been intense.
The very, very first steps of writing the book were us just trying to one up each other and make each other laugh, which was kind of how it started. And we realized very quickly we need a plan for this book because it's big. So we stopped for a while, hashed out a very detailed plan,
Mm.
really just by voice notes, text messages, and sending a document back and forth. And to be honest, that's kind of how the writing went as well. There were large portions of the book that MDW first drafted, and then I would comment on. There were portions of the book that I first drafted, and then he would comment on. The book is set in Japan. I do not live in Japan, so the book is very much he is both a writer and an editor as well. So he is adding those details that I could never add,
Mm.
which is wonderful. And I get to sit back and just hash out this mad story that we're telling as it comes together. It's been I think we will talk a lot about it, both of us, when the book is out. he's spoken a little bit about the writing process, and he said, I believe on an episode of his podcast where he was speaking to Josh Mallerman, I think he said that he could write a book just about the writing of this book, and I
Oh
believe it.
wow,
I
okay.
think we could. It's been a real journey, so we'll definitely talk a lot about it. But it's been a mad roller coaster. I've learned so much. Michael is a great friend. He's a very great writer as well, and I've learned a lot, and it's been loads of fun.
That sounds
Amazing. Look
impressive.
forward to
I read
finding out more,
incredibly
man.
slowly, John, so I'll have to carve out like either a terrible sickness or a long holiday to sit and read a 600 page book. 600 page book because you're normally reading at bedtime is a write off for me. I'm always like
Oh,
a
Oh
page
yeah.
in. I need that's a hammock read that I need right there. So I better book myself a holiday.
you better, yeah, you better. And it's going to be, yeah, it is going to be one of those doorsteps. I just read. This is a complete, I don't know, tangent, but I just read Joe Hill's new book, King Sorrow, and I don't know
Hmm.
if that's on either of your radars or any of your listeners' radars. But it's 900 page tome of a book. It's massive, but it is incredible. And that could be the cure to your like, nodding off as you read because it is a page turner and I
The-
adored it. But it is like it's a workout, especially if you're reading it in bed, which I get a lot of my reading done in bed. And you're holding this 900 page hardback because it's just new out. It's not out in paperback yet. And it's just like, it's a workout, man.
Do
But
you
that's how you'll stay awake reading it as well. If you drop off, it's going to be like the pit and the pendulum.
kill you?
Yeah,
You get
you're in
Final
trouble.
Destination.
Are you
You're in
a
trouble.
dust jacket on or a dust jacket off type of guy?
Get it off. I want
Yeah.
my books naked.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's just not pleasant, is it? Just constantly adjusting it, constantly going, oh, it's kind of flapped out.
You see, I totally agree with that from a practical perspective, but I feel like somehow if I took the lovely dust jacket off my book, then even if I had no food anywhere near me, somehow like a tikka masala would materialize in the room and just fall all over it.
But you wouldn't you want that to not fall on the dust jacket, which you can then put on and cover the stains?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's very true.
Makes a
So
lot of
Yeah,
sense.
I'm considering it an outer feature, whereas you're thinking of it as a shield.
it's a bit of a
I
shoot.
feel like
Yeah,
I've got more questions. Dust jacket on, is it off and it stays off until you finish the book, or is it on and
In the
off?
bin.
it it comes off for me. This is me, very personal, and I want to hear what everyone else does as well. But for me, it comes off when I start reading it. It stays off. I
Yeah.
actually put it into the bookshelf where
Oh,
the
I
book
see,
has
I
come out.
see.
So the dust jacket's just sitting in there by itself. And then when it goes back on the shelf, I put it
That's
all
a good
back on.
idea. I never thought of that. I don't
So
know much about King Sorrow. Is it just one of those books that's so epic you can't sum it up in a
it's
lot
a
of lines?
book about a dragon, and it's
Wow.
wonderful.
Is it set in Maine?
Yeah, it's set all over actually. It's a bit of
Okay,
a
okay.
globe spanning adventure, but it's is it set in Maine? Oh God, I should know that. I've spent 900 pages with these
You
characters.
forget after a while, don't you?
There's
You
a
go, where
bit,
are
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
again?
It goes.
Maine, Skegness.
They kick about. They do
Yeah.
travel around. Dragons are
About a dragon,
prone to
interesting.
fly around a bit, so
Okay.
he gets around. But oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't even know why it popped into my head just now. I think it's because we were just talking about big books, and I just read it. But
Hmm.
oh my gosh, it's my book of the year. I know this is not a book
Oh.
podcast, but it's amazing.
I
No,
mean,
we
it's
can
making
cover
me kind
books.
of want to.
We're all about the arts here, John.
I don't think I think I've only read Nos 4R2. That's what it's called, isn't it?
Okay, yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Hill,
you're
Joe
right.
Hill.
I
I feel
actually
like
haven't read that one. I,
oh,
I
I've
think,
only read the Black Phone pamphlet by, well,
oh
yeah,
wait,
pamphlet
I've
by
listened
comparison.
to the Black Phone like an audiobook version of it, but
yeah.
yeah, I should really check out more
Yeah,
of
he's
the
he's
author.
great. Yeah, I read The Fireman. The Fireman's also great, and I'm pretty sure Black Phone. It was in the Strange Weather. Like it was a collection. I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
in,
you're
and I
right,
I
you're
read
right.
that, and it was good. But King
Excellent.
Sorrow is a whole, yeah,
Hey,
Mm,
whole other level for me.
get on
amazing.
board.
Right.
Or if you struggle with a 900 page book, if the way that Hollywood are slurping up him and his dad's books and content this
Oh, they're getting
year
all over,
alone,
aren't they?
it'll be out soon. Don't you worry.
It
That's true.
will be out
It's
soon. You're
true.
right.
True.
Okay, let's talk a little bit horror news before we get into the film of the week. First off, Horror Game Awards in London, Saturday just gone, the 13th of December. I attended. Me and Charlie attended. We enjoyed the show. Hosted with obviously Ash Millman, who's been on the show plenty of times, was hosting the awards alongside the other guys from that. So we've got Silent Hill F, which was a big winner at the Horror Game Awards, nominated in 6 categories. It took home 4 awards, including the coveted Game of the Year. Other big winners, a game called Look Outside, that won multiple awards. The Midnight Walk, I think Resident Evil Requiem as most anticipated horror game. A Lifetime Achievement Award for Hideo Kojima. Best performance for Kato from Silent Hill F. Best developer Red Barrels. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the heavy hitters won awards. I feel like sometimes some of the, I mean, there were some indie games as well that won as well. But I think something like, to be fair, in terms of horror games, I've probably not played as many this year as I usually would. It's only Silent Hill F that I've played, so the fact they won the most awards makes me go, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. But it was fun. It was a really good event. Obviously the first time they've done it in person as well. We're grateful to have been invited to that. So thanks to everyone
Yeah, I'm
involved.
sad I couldn't make it down, but looks like you guys had a lovely time. And what made my day over the weekend on Saturday is getting some jobs done, getting some bits and pieces done. Got a lovely little text message from Ben in the early evening saying, "We've got you a goodie bag," which is very
Oh
nice.
yeah, we did get you a goodie bag, yeah. And even if it was
Wonderful.
frowned upon for walking out with 2 goodie bags, I don't care.
You could say, "This is Andy's, all right?"
This
Is the goodie bag contents a secret until Andy gets it, or can we hear some of the goodies that were in the
there's
goodie
only really
bag?
one thing in it. So
Oh,
goodie bag,
okay,
goodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I bet. What
Goodie
if there were
bag,
sweeties in there and he's eaten
goodie
them and he
bag.
hasn't told me? You've eaten my sour Skittles and my Halloween variants of
Can I,
what's it like
Andy?
scream eggs, but you've popped them all up.
Okay.
Goodie bags for us. Thank you to the Horror Game Awards folks. Lovely to cover it. Hopefully, we'll see you there next year and I can make it down.
But yeah, of course, you were missed. But it was good, and it was good to catch up with Stu and Lindsay. Obviously, they were there when Dead Reset was nominated for 5 awards, which is big in itself. A small production like that. I think they told me how many copies they'd sold and a few behind the scenes bits as well. So that was
I'm
cool to
glad it's
hear.
doing. I'm glad they're doing well. I'd love to see
Mm.
nice people doing well with good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Some other people who've been on the show. Brandon Salisbury was on. He wasn't there in person, but he chimed in with sort of some news on the dark, what was it called? Unholy Trinity, Faith, the game adaptation that he's making currently. So that was good as well. Yeah, and there was a extended featurette about the Hellraiser game as well, which I think went live a couple of days later. But yeah, it really does seem like they've put so much care and attention into this, and they've got input from all of the important people you'd expect. And it looks great. The visuals look great. It looks ever so sexy. There's so much sexy time happening in this game.
I hope so, Ben, because that was my one complaint about the Hellraiser remake. Not sexy enough.
Not sexy enough. 0% sexy. This is all like different, like flesh torsos twisted and oily limbs. That's right. Chains and whips and chains excite you, Rihanna
Yeah, I want there
style.
to be a slider like for jiggle physics on DOA. I want oil slider that I can turn right the way up in
Get the
Hellraiser.
oil all the way up. Jiggle, jiggle physics. I do love jiggle physics.
Although,
Um,
like, we know that obviously the lament configuration, the Hellraiser box that kicks it all off, as the series progressed film wise, became much easier to solve. Feels like people in the last couple of films just have to vaguely glance at it and it solves itself.
yeah.
But if it's like in the first game, not first game, the first film, like twisting those things around, quite a puzzle. Never solved a Rubik's Cube in my life. I hope I don't just get stuck in a really mundane world going,
Yeah.
can't do the first bit.
I can't even do the first bit. Some people do it one-handed. Show offs.
Yeah.
Absolute disgrace.
That's like
Um,
people doing like completing Dark Souls with a goldfish and a dance mat. I
Oh
wish
my
that was an
God, yeah.
exaggeration, but it
That goldfish
really is.
died.
What?
That goldfish died, didn't it? Did you
Yeah,
hear
and
about
he's
that?
probably still better than me at Dark Souls even now.
Dead.
Hold
Yeah.
on, was
Flopping
the
around.
goldfish the player or the controller?
I
It's a
think
good
sort of
question.
both. I think it
Both.
was.
Oh,
I
wow.
think the character moved based on where in the tank the goldfish swam, and it has beaten the hardest boss on Dark Souls, a boss that I have not even attempted to get to because I
Wow.
stopped having fun and gave up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what else have we got? A teaser trailer for Hokum, which is the new film from the Oddity and what was the other film he made? Director Damien McCarthy. So this is coming out May the 1st, 2026 via Neon. It stars Adam Scott as a reclusive novelist who retreats to a remote Irish inn to scatter his parents' ashes. The staff's tales of an ancient witch haunting the honeymoon suite take hold of his mind. That's a really weird sentence when I've read it out loud. I'm assuming the staff of this particular Irish inn go, there's a bloody witch who used to live in the honeymoon suite. And he goes,
The story takes hold of his mind.
takes hold of his mind. Hokum. This is interesting. Have you
I
guys
bet he
seen
goes to
Odd?
it before he goes to bed. That's a load of hokum, then he goes to bed and has nightmares about
What
it.
a load of old hokum. Whoa. Have
Careful,
you
Ben.
guys
Looks like it's
seen
taken hold of your mind there.
Have you guys have you guys seen Oddity or Caveat is the other one, isn't it? Yeah.
I've not
I
seen
haven't seen.
Caveat.
Yeah,
Oddity's great.
I've seen Oddity, and yes, it is great.
Yeah.
And I
Uh,
hadn't even heard of this. I'm getting all my film news right now,
there
live
we
with you
go.
guys. So
Live.
I'm Googling it.
Brand new. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's a teaser trailer. Go and check that out. Looks interesting, let's say. I don't really want to find out too much about it, so I'm just gonna watch this teaser and that will be it. Another teaser trailer, well, an actual trailer for a film called Killer Whale. It's coming out in January, January the 16th on digital in some select theaters on VOD. I guess they've gone. Orca was a good film all those years ago. Let's make our own killer whale movie. After a life-shattering tragedy, Trish tries to comfort her best friend Maddie by taking her on a spectacular adventure in a private lagoon halfway across the world. And then killer whale. That's I
Sounds
can't.
to me
There's
like real
literally three
bougie
more. There's
behaviour.
literally
And if
three more sentences. There's no point reading it out because I know what it's going to be.
I'm already
And then
in, I'm buying a ticket, I'm there for Killer Whale, and we know if the news is anything to go by, Killer Whale's having a lovely time knocking rich people out of yachts of late.
Yeah.
Good on them. I can't wait to see them on the big screen.
do they like
Sold.
being called killer whales? Do they prefer orca?
It could be a
Um,
branding thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe they don't like it. I
I
don't know, but
reckon the
I'm on
ones that are
board for
doing
this.
murders are probably like, yeah, call me the Killer Whale.
yeah. Um, but yeah, this again interest. I'll be seated for it. You know,
Yeah.
maybe not the cinema, but in my own house, I'll be
Yeah,
seated.
makers of Killer Whale, get in touch. I will promote the shit out of this.
Yeah. On the poster, like it looks like there's two people dead on the beach. I'm like, is that a spoiler? Just like these two, the
Well, they've
two main
labeled him a
stuff.
killer before in the title.
Yeah, it's in the bloody title there, isn't it? But yeah, this looks interesting. Let's check this out. January, January's weird for horror, isn't it? Because it does seem to be. I saw that the Megan spin-off, the Mafregan spin-off Soulmate, which was supposed to come out in January, that we've not seen or heard a sausage about, has
Hide the
been
hair.
a hide nor hair has been delayed or maybe just
Cancelled. I mean,
It's
it's been
been,
taken off the slate.
yeah. So
taken off the
they're
slate.
shopping it around right now because the film is done, right? So it's ready.
Okay.
And I think they're just shopping it around because they're not, you know, a lot of
Yeah.
people are kind of saying, well, just why don't you just release it anyway? But there's so much to invest in releasing a film that I
Yeah,
think
of
they've just
course.
decided, oh, we don't want to spend any of that
Especially if
money.
they've done absolutely no promotion for anything at all. I don't think we've seen a screenshot, a poster, any footage.
I mean, surely that's the same way that Disney are doing with like a couple of recent shows. Isn't Wonder Man out now that's just been like, just knock it out on the platform, just be done. Like, if you're not going to promote it anyway to
Is it out,
save
is it?
yourself the money, just put it out then.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think of Megan 2.0?
It's not a horror film anymore, but I liked it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not a
I
horror
feel
film
the
anymore. Yeah,
same.
fair
Yeah.
enough.
It's kind of
Like we
like,
covered it, we covered it on the show. I enjoyed it. I had a great deal of fun watching it, but it is like by any stretch, I don't think it's a horror movie anymore.
No,
I've,
no, it's definitely not. I kind of got dragged to it, to be honest. My friend Mark and my other half Daisy were both wanted to see it, and I didn't. And I was like, okay, I'll come along since you guys are going. Obviously, I'm not going to let you go have the fun. And I loved it. I
Yeah,
loved it
she's
Oh
so much
yeah,
sassy
more
as fuck. I love her.
than the first one. But
yeah. I think I
yeah, it's not
preferred it to the
horror.
first one, like as a film. I think either film as a horror film. I mean, the first one more horror than
Especially the
the
unrated
second.
cut is pretty good, pretty solid horror movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, January's a weird one because obviously that's obviously not happening anymore. But then we're getting Primate. We're getting. I'm kind of baffled why 28 years later the Bone Temple was a January release. That's a bit strange,
It's
isn't it?
because it's 28 weeks after the last one.
Is that literally it?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of
So
good
from the
writing, I
release of the
guess.
first one, it was 28 weeks later.
I kind of like that. Um, and then what else? Silent Hill, Return to Silent Hill, where
Yeah.
I feel
And
like,
then just on the cusp, depending where you are in the world, I think some territories are getting Send Help, the Sam Raimi
oh yeah,
Desert Island one in January. I think we're getting it in February.
okay,
And there's
February.
the housekeeper, the housemaid, Sydney Sweeney job.
Oh yeah, this the housemaid. Right, so that what's it called? The housemaid? Is that horror? I don't know. The trailer for this played before Silent Night, Deadly Night. I don't know if it did for you as well.
Yeah.
That's the whole film there. That's the whole bloody film right
Who's
there.
going to
That
be
trailer.
bad though? Is it going to be the wife or the husband or sort of both? Or her? Who's bad, Ben?
Uh,
Choose now. It's not a
Trailers.
spoiler, it's speculation.
They're all bad in their
They're
own
all bad in
way,
their
in
own
their own
way.
unique
Very true.
way. Bless them. But yeah, I don't know. I I feel like my interest in that is pretty is it zero pretty much. But Silent Hill, Return to Silent Hill, I'm looking forward to it. The more and more I see of it, the more I think it looks a bit like a fan film. But you know, he's James is driving too nice a car. He's dressed like a magician. He's got he's got an early 2000s screamo lead singer haircut. What's going on? That's all I say. But everybody else in the cast do look like they look good as characters. They look like very similar to the characters, but you know when it doesn't have a cinematic quality to it, it does look a bit fan made, but could still be good.
Yeah.
Could still be good.
Sometimes those things can make or break it though. I still argue the very first Resident Evil movie is better lighting and a couple of one-liners that hit a bit more away from being the aliens of its generation. But sadly, it looks at some points, particularly with the upscale in technology onto higher definition TVs than were available then when it came out. There are moments of it in the sort of warehouse zombie scenes that look like they're lit like an episode of EastEnders, which is a shame.
A fight scene in the Queen Vic. Get out of my pub. That's it. That's all I got for news.
I've
Anything?
got two bits for you, Ben. Two
You think
bits
you
for
are
you.
coming to the horror news section of the show with two bits of news all the time? I
Two
like it.
bits of little
I
bits of
like
news for
it.
you. One of them, it's do the little beep 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 beep, like the bulletin board coming in. If you've been keeping up with us on what's rolling out at your festivals and so on, you'll have heard Ben and I a year ago now talk about when we first saw Shelby Oaks. We know that it got a cinema release a little bit earlier this year. It is now out on digital in the UK and
Mm.
Ireland, other territories as well, I would imagine. If you've been waiting to catch up on that, then now is a time that you can do so from the comfort of your own home.
I've been
And
waiting to catch up on this, so I will be doing that after
yeah,
this.
I
Wonderful.
liked it very much, although I cannot comment what the changes have been since they got all of that additional investment and the
Yeah,
reshoots. I haven't
I
seen the
don't know
new
about
cut.
this yet. I need to see
Oh,
the new
okay.
cut. Um,
Interesting.
if you'd like, but before or after you watch the film, check out my interview with star Sarah Dern, who plays Riley in Shelby Oaks as well, to get the lowdown on what it was like working on that film, and a little bit about, I guess, the new version as well.
Yeah,
Since obviously the distributor Neon picked it up, they had some reshoots and some different bits going into that, but yeah,
a good
check it
interview,
out.
Ben. Some of your finest work. Very good.
Some of my finest work. Yeah, cheers.
Uh,
Thank you very much.
Speaking of interviews, though, at the time of recording this, it's not out yet, but because it's a time windowed thing, I want to shout this out early, just in case also people listen to our main episodes, but not necessarily interviews for stuff they don't know. If you are London way, I had a lovely chat earlier today with a young fellow by the name of Jamie Armitage, who is the writer director of a show currently playing at Hampstead Theatre running right the way up an extended run to January 31st. It's called A Ghost in Your Ear. Um, Sounds like a tremendous horror story. He's really inspired by the Christmas traditions of telling ghost stories together, and also in technology and audio production. And the story of the play is about an actor going into a recording studio to record an audiobook of a horror story. Now, the cool twist in technology here is the audience are all sitting there with headphones on, and it's recorded in the booth with those sort of binaural
Mm.
ASMR encoded headphones. So as someone's reading the story, they talk to one side. No one else will be able to get this. My microphone is not set up for that. It will be stereo sound that you're in there. Um, Sounds like a phenomenal use of technology, a great way to tell a scary story. Audience feedback has been really good. You will hear on the feed very, very shortly. We'll drop that interview that I had with
Yeah.
Jamie. A writer after my own heart. I think he's doing some really wonderful and creative things. It's going to be running from now. The cast only have Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and like New Year's Day off. They're doing a ton of runs all the way through. I think there's a matinee performance on Christmas Eve, even if you're feeling very
Oh my
festive. You know
God.
what? If you're anywhere near London, I'm excited enough about it, but live 500 miles away. If you haven't got anyone a present yet, everyone's got enough tap. Stay off Amazon, get them tickets for this, go out, have a lovely time. I think you'll enjoy it, and I want reviews from listeners to come in because it sounds
I want.
tremendous, and I want it to do well enough that it gets a tour, and John and I can go and see it in.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, John? The Dundee Ref would be lovely for it.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, and the Hampstead Theatre is my old local theatre, so
Ah,
I moved away from London too. So this sounds great. Yeah, this
your
sounds
old
really
Sounds
home.
good.
really, really cool.
Um, we did get an invite, but unfortunately, I couldn't squeeze it in when I was my flyby visit to London. I could only do the Horror Game Awards, you know. I've only got so much time in the day. I've got to have a bit of dinner as well.
Yeah, and
So
I
in
will be
fact,
down in. So, oh, sorry, Ben. I thought you were talking over you.
no, no,
I
go on.
will be down in London on. It's running all the way up to the 31st of January, and I'll be down in London, obviously, for the Refuse Films t Trauma tour that you guys might and might not be
Oh,
going
John,
to,
put
but
a
I will
stop
be.
in.
I
put a
might put
stop in
maybe if I go
on
Yeah,
down a
and
day
behalf
early.
not
behalf of
talking
Horror
out of
Hangout.
school here. Jamie shared with me that they're actually looking for attendees with refined tastes, maybe people to volunteer to actually have one of the ECG monitors on them, so they can monitor their heart rate through the screening and get a timeline of
Oh,
where the biggest scares are.
Wow.
You
I don't
could get in
reckon
touch,
John.
John. You could be a real guinea pig for science.
I mean, I was out as soon as you said refined taste, but yeah.
I don't reckon your heart rate would move move a centimeter on the dial. You'd just be such a cool, calm
No,
character.
Hardcore.
no, that's not true. I get so into it. Like
Okay.
when I'm in a movie, when I'm in in a cinema, in a theater, I am 100% locked in a major way. I'm one of those people like I barely move. I take a sip of my drink, whatever I'm having, maybe a
Mm.
snack, but really not that often. Um, I'm totally locked in, and I would, yeah, I can imagine some spikes for sure for me.
I think the theatre is such an immersive experience as well, isn't it? You don't have the safety of there being like a screen and the music's gone off. There's going to be a jump scare. You're not getting me, James One. I'm going to take a strategic sip of my drink. No, like you are in it. You're there, and it's why like plays like The Woman in Black are so incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah, really recommend it. It's one of the few things that makes me wish I lived closer to
Mm.
London.
sounds
Absolutely.
great.
Not enough
Yeah,
made me
that'll
move,
be
Love
of
it.
that'll be
course,
going
but
up.
I can feel left out.
That'll be going up next on the feed, wouldn't it? So,
Yeah.
look out for that.
Next episode, everybody.
Yes. Okay. In terms of what we've been watching, anything we've seen in the last 7 days, or obviously more for you, John. Anything you'd like to potentially recommend? I guess maybe you could talk about. Have you got any favorites in 2025?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I'm catching up on a few things. I'm a little bit behind with my film viewing. I like to kind of have my my rolling list of films of the year, or horror of the year specifically. And I'm sort of getting to this point now in the year, and I'm realizing there's a lot I still haven't seen. So I spent a little bit of time catching up. Like I saw The Ugly Stepsister just for the first time uh, this week, last
Same
week.
here.
Oh,
And me.
really?
And me.
Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay.
We're
I
doing the
thought
catch up. Yeah.
yeah, just doing the catch up on that. That was great. Yeah, I'll just shout out like some of the things I'm looking at my letterbox diary. I watched Beast of War for the first time recently as
I
well.
loved
Yes.
Beast of War this year.
I had so much fun with Beast of War as well.
Beast of War might be sneaking into my top 10. I thought it was such a
Oh,
cleverly put together story.
oh gosh, I don't know what are my top films so far. I'm looking at. Okay, let me just jump into my top films so far. I can give you horror wise, I loved 28 Years Later. That's very, very high for me. I really loved it. I loved Bring Her Back. I loved Weapon. These are all like big hitters.
Yeah.
There's not anything particularly obscure here. I
Hey,
loved
John,
Weapons.
vanilla's a popular flavor because people like it. It's nice.
I loved Final Destination
Yeah.
Bloodline
Yeah, it
so
was good. Yeah.
much. Probably my favorite Final Destination movie. I really liked Dangerous Animals. Sinners is there too.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff. I've got Megan 2.0 in my top. It's not in my top 10, but it's in my list here. And there's still a bunch to go for me
Mm.
that I need to catch up on. Frankenstein, I haven't. Look, one thing I will shout out, which is maybe a little bit off the beaten track, because I think most of mine are fairly well talked about, is a film called Honey Bunch. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
It's really
No, I don't
good.
think so. Honey Bunch.
Um, I was at a screening in my local beloved Dunded, the Dundee Horror Film Festival that happens every year, but also spills out into the rest of the year, where we're very spoiled in Dundee and we get a monthly Dunded screening. And
Mm.
Honey Bunch was October screening. And I believe it was a surprise screening actually. Yeah, it was their Halloween surprise. And yeah, I had so much fun with it. Or fun's maybe the wrong word, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what I was seeing when I went in and came out thinking that's a cracker of a movie. So check that one out.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that. So yeah, let's get it on the list. I've kind of been catching up with stuff as well, like as 2025 draws to a close, just because I want a comprehensive list of my favorites without going, oh, but I didn't see this, I didn't see that. So I
Mhm.
caught up with The Ugly Stepsister as well this week. I did also watch Influencers, which was the movie that closed Fright Fest in London 2025. That's
Yeah.
now on Shudder. That dropped on Shudder on the 12th of December. Um, I had fun with that as well. I quite enjoyed the first one, Influencer, but this one, Influencers, is also good. It's a bit, how can you describe it? It's a bit, goes a bit Jason Bourne in a way, like in a way.
Okay.
Is it Jason Bourne? Is that the right way of describing it? Just like
French bloke jumps through the window, beats the shit out of someone.
there's a lot of, yeah, there's a lot of God damn, that's Jason Bourne. Maybe Jason Bourne's not the right way of describing it. It's
Does she
almost like,
disappear behind a bus at any point and then she's on the rooftop opposite
yeah,
someone?
pretty much. There's a lot of that, but I feel like what happens is the victims of this particular character become the like sleuths. They become the characters that are like trying to hunt her down. Like, oh yeah, doing a load of murders and being all mysterious and getting away with it, aren't you? Well, we're gonna come find you. All
Oh, they're
right?
gonna do internet sleuthing like those people that caught the horrible man that was killing those cats.
Yeah.
And you'll see her dragged out of a cyber cafe in Germany in a few years to come.
It's good though, and obviously the lead actress, Cassandra Nord, who plays CW, is very good, and I would say more sinister this time around, because in the first one I think she was pretty sinister, but you had to kind of suspend your disbelief that she was capable of certain things, whereas with this one you're a bit like, oh yeah. I like a film which is like a step ahead of you as well. Like I don't like it when a film is it tries to be a step ahead of you. It's like it thinks it's a step ahead of you. This is a film that kind of like really makes the effort to throw spanners in the works and make things a little bit unpredictable. Um, so yeah, I enjoyed it.
I do want to catch up with that as
Nice.
well. I, like you, Ben, I've been working that catch up. Also, completing the trifecta, also hitting the ugly stepsister is one that I made that I know made a lot of waves. Nice to compare and contrast that to Cinderella's Revenge that we saw at was that Fright Fest this year? Feels like, or was it the year before?
Year
The
before, I
years
think.
merge into
Year
one.
before, yeah, they
They
do.
really
A,
do.
a more subtle telling, I would say, of the Cinderella story through a horror lens. It
Yeah.
was fun. I enjoyed it.
Did you enjoy that barn scene? I text you about this.
The barn scene, oh, the best one. Yeah.
Just the lingering close-ups, and I genuinely went, "Is this allowed? Is this allowed?
You go, they can't show this.
They can't do that."
You write a letter to your MP.
They can and they have.
They can, and they did.
All of a sudden, the shenanigans in 28 years later feel very tame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm
Yeah.
interested about with the Bone Temple. I want to know
He's
is
got pants on now, hasn't he?
he's.
He
I've heard,
has.
I've heard a rumor he's got pants on, but then I asked someone who's seen the film. I said, "Does he have pants on?" They said, "Oh yeah, for a bit, I guess."
There's a
So maybe
scene that they put some pants on him.
rips
They
the
wait for him to
pants
jump
off.
down. They cat him up like last time, and they just whack a pair of CKs on him.
They can't
See,
just have him appear with pants on. So maybe there's a whole like robing scene. Like,
yeah,
maybe that's what's coming.
yeah, that would be good. And then they keck him straight afterwards. Hey, have a bit of that.
Absolutely dacked.
Absolutely dacked, kecked, and kegged, all in one
Um,
go.
the only other thing I have watched, I'm still on a Friday the 13th hiatus, Ben, until I've got over all of the love interests being killed, and also caught up on stuff that I need to finish this year. But
Yeah.
shan't be abandoning it. I will return, like Jason Bourne. But other than that, I've actually then been doing a little bit of. I'll tell you what, I'll do the film first. I've been watching the folks behind a horror movie. I don't think it's had a formal release yet. It's called Airshift. It is about
Oh
a
yeah.
young DJ who's working at an alternative radio station when some radioactive waste is found underneath it, and then some unexpected visitors are raiding that radio station. It's filmed with a very deliberate sort of 70s feel and aesthetic to it, but it
Okay.
is in the modern day. Lovely bit of indie horror, quite funny, good stuff. Some unnatural pairings of people that are survivors that are thrown together. A little bit of fun. I will hopefully be chatting to the creators of that in the new year. I didn't commit us to more stuff before
Mm.
Christmas, Ben, but we'll have a bit more of a chat about that when we get a little bit closer. But shout out to that one and more news coming soon. Other than that, I've been doing a little bit of horror gaming. Well, horror adjacent gaming. One, I've continued with the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, doing some lovely fatalities, crunching people up in beautiful, two-dimensional, sort of digitized actors. What a time. But of interest to you, I'd imagine, Ben, I've also been playing, I think this counts for horror, Terminator No Fate.
Oh, you've been playing it. Oh man, I'm
Oh, I'll
I'm
tell you what,
I'm
it
very
is
excited
a
to play it.
lot of fun, like a 2D run and gun affair. Different characters. So far, as I've progressed in the game, I have been Sarah Connor running through, like, in the era of her being like a gun runner, trying to
Yeah.
break into Cyberdyne systems in the events before, between Terminator 1 and 2 that would see her arrested and locked away. I played as John Connor in the future, lasering some big Terminators. It's got almost, not quite because the sprites are a different size and everything, but it's got almost like Gunstar Heroes energy to it.
Yeah.
Really like frantic, explosive, loads of action going on screen. And then the last level I played before I set my Switch down for an evening when I had a little go of it, I played as Naked Arnie punching the shit out of people in a biker bar. It's real good. It's a lot of fun.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to it, man. Oh,
Yeah, get
it's
stuck
on
in
the
that.
list.
I think
What?
it's one of those games like in a world where I don't know it's production and all those other things, blah blah blah. But I'm still at an era where a new game comes out and it's 60 quid plus, and I'm like, oh, fuck off. But for a nice game that I'm looking forward in playing, it's going to be fun, even if it's just a contained experience, couple of hours, not an infinity game, not 100 hours plus of your life opening and climbing up all those towers. Something I'm
Yeah.
going to get good few hours of entertainment out of though. 25 notes on the old Wii store. Yes, please.
Is it?
Oh.
Is it
Yeah.
that much?
Is
It
this
is.
the Wii 1 or the Wii 2?
Also, yeah, it's, not the Wii, the Switch. But
Oh,
yes,
the
it's
Wii.
on. It's
I
on
even
both.
said, yeah, I even said Wii as well. Yeah, Switch, obviously.
I'm
That's what I
used
meant
to
to
the
say as
Wii
well.
store
It's
because
on the
that's where
bloody
the
Wii
music lives
store,
in my head
isn't
forever.
it? Yeah.
Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon.
I still,
Yeah,
I still have my Nintendo Wii actually. It's in a box,
yeah.
but I've still got it.
It's a
I think
shame. If
I
the
think I
Wii
still
was,
got the
if it was
Wii.
on the Wii store, Ben, you and John, you could download it from there. But the Switch store will
Yeah,
have to do for now.
I'm looking.
It's on everything though. I think it's
Yeah, it
on.
is.
If
Okay.
it's got a controller, you can download it, and
Yeah,
it's a reasonable price, and it's lots of fun.
I'm definitely. That might be a
Nice.
over Christmas jobby.
Ask Santa.
I'll ask
Yeah.
Santa as long as he doesn't slice me up. I also watched the finale for It. Welcome to Derry. Are you caught up, Andy?
Not yet. And so with this week's episode, I'll be two behind.
Yeah.
We did think about doing a little bonus, Ben. Maybe we'll do one about
I
it.
think we should because I think it's very, very good. John, I don't know if you've seen any of it at all.
I'm all caught up. I watched the
You've
finale
seen the
the other
finale
night.
as well.
Yes, yes, sir.
It is so good. Now I feel like because as time's gone on, like my interest in the mythology of it and Pennywise and everything has kind of like waned a little after the films. Like 'cause there was a lot of film, I guess, wasn't there? And it's a big book, but with all this stuff, like the Pennywise, I guess, origin with how he took the form of Bob Gray is so fascinating. And I feel like the stuff they do with Dick Halloran as well is really interesting because they could have easily just gone and him from The Shining's in this, and then
Mm.
just not really done anything that interesting. But I feel like they've done so well and there were some proper like epic moments in the finale that I was just like, this is this is banging. And for somebody who was like pretty disappointed by the last few episodes of Stranger Things, I feel like this has captured that kind of vibe very well.
Interesting. I do agree. I haven't actually watched any of this season of Stranger Things yet, although it's on my list. But I do agree with you that the finale was epic, and there
Yeah.
was some great episodes along the way. I think it was the second episode that I really, really, I wasn't so sure about it. I'll be
Mm.
honest, from the first episode, and I was maybe ready to kind of like, just another. There's so many shows to watch. There's so many
Mm.
films to watch, but for whatever reason, we stuck around, watched the second episode, and it grabbed me then. And yeah, it was an epic finale, and I'm really curious to to see what because the plan is to tell the story backwards, as I
Yeah.
understand it. Like, there's a planned 3 season arc, but each season is like progressively going backwards rather than forwards.
Mm.
And I think that's a really interesting format structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to see if I don't know if the second season's been picked up or anything like that, but I'll be very curious to keep
Mm.
watching for sure.
Well, yeah, I think at the end it came up chapter one, didn't it? It said it Welcome to Derry chapter one. So it did the old Pennywise will return sort of thing.
Yeah.
Pennywise return in Avengers Doomsday. Um,
Yeah. I'd really like to see more about Penny, like not necessarily Penny like Bob Gray or anything like that, but like Pennywise, because there was a brief moment in this particular episode. I don't think this is a spoiler, Andy, so I'm not gonna. But
once
where
again,
Pennywise is like, um, I don't know, you get under his skin a little bit for a moment, don't you?
Mm.
You get under, and I like that, and I'd like to know more. I'd like to see more of that, where you're a bit like, okay, because I guess Pennywise obviously is a fantastic villain, fantastic movie monster, but occasionally, depending on what story's being told, can feel a little bit one dimensional, where it's just like it's gonna scare you, it's gonna eat you, and that's kind of it.
he's a
That's
big horrible spider.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed this kind of the extra bits that they kind of do with it. I think all the characters, the minor characters, the major characters are all really good. I think I was the same as you, John. Like maybe the first few episodes, I was like, it's watchable, but is it? You know, it's not changing my life. And then I think when Pennywise was kind of introduced again, on episode five, I think it gradually got better, and I feel like the last few episodes have just been really good. So
It's definitely it's definitely worth a watch. And a good like horror TV show.
yeah,
I don't know, I'm probably going to say this and think of a million examples, but they don't come along all that
no,
often. Um, so it's nice to get a pure horror.
yeah, and
I
with
love I love not only the things like Dick Halloran being in it, but I like the familial ties even to the things because isn't the major at the Air Force and their name is Hanlon, isn't it? So they would be related to
yeah,
Tim Reed's character from the original film, like
there's a
Mike.
lot of connections that are
Yeah.
kind of revealed as time goes on.
Yeah.
Um, Connections maybe that I was like, oh, do you reckon this person might be this person, that person might be that
I
person?
like the subtleties as well. Like, if you know that if you're a fan and you know the names, you can follow those things through. But it's
Mm.
giving you that credit and those breadcrumbs to be able to follow, not going, when I have a son one day, in about 20 years, I'm going to call him Mike. Like it's breadcrumbed nicely, so it can reward that engagement, but it's not bashing you over the
And
head if you're not. And I don't know about you two, but I feel like it's maybe certainly for horror people might have eaten Stranger Things lunch a little bit here because I don't know about you, like Stranger Things came out and I've seen
mm.
more promotion of it than I've seen thingy. Like I can't buy any Pennywise Doritos down the co-op. I can buy Stranger Things Doritos though.
I
But
feel the same because I felt like it was going to be
talking
the
to
other way
people,
around. I thought Stranger Things was going to completely like blow out of the way. No one was going to continue watching Welcome to Derry, but I felt like the opposite happened.
yeah, people are still talking about this week on week, whereas I feel like Stranger Things happened. I knew some people that said maybe that's on me because I'm actively not talking about it because I haven't watched it yet. But I seem to feel like I saw people post and say, "Yeah, I've watched that," or I spoke to friends and they said, "Oh yeah, we binged it straight away. It's done. We'll see it again on Christmas." I feel like it's become almost like consumable. It's become product rather than like this cultural talking moment here. Maybe I'm just out of the loop, but
No, I
No, I
mean,
think you're
well,
right.
I think you're right. Yeah,
I think there's something about the weekly format that is really good because there is a sort of feeling maybe when things are just dropped all at once that if you're not the sort to be like I don't know if I'm really like a binge watcher. I don't know if I'm going to watch a whole season of anything when it drops, and I know it's not the whole season of Stranger
yeah,
Things that's dropped, but I don't actually even know how many episodes have dropped, but I know the episodes are getting longer, and it feels like a bit of a mission. Uh, there's
yeah,
almost if you don't catch it straight away, all the urgency is just the wind
mm,
yeah,
is just out your sails. So I
yeah.
didn't like, that first day, first weekend, whenever it came out, I obviously didn't watch it. And now, maybe there'll be some more urgency when the next set drop.
Yeah.
But I'm not
But
seeing
then,
lots of spoiler. Like, there's that kind of feeling of like, oh, well, if I don't watch it, it's going to get spoiled.
because I
I'm
don't
not
even
really
think
seeing anything.
anything that interesting really happens to
Yeah,
be
yeah, maybe that's what
spoiled,
it
you
is.
know?
Yeah, fair enough.
The stuff that happens is like stuff we've kind of seen in one way or another before, you know? It's kind of like a different spin on something else. It's none of it's like, holy shit, you're not gonna believe it. It's
Yeah,
kind of
okay.
like the upside down is in this. That's kind of what it is. And you're like,
Vecna's got a girlfriend now. What? How's
Vecna's got a
that
bloody
happened?
hat on.
Well,
Vecna's got a hat and glasses on. Um, I mean, that's true. But I think, yeah, the episodic nature of it is like you've only got one episode to watch and you can watch it at any point during that week and you're caught up. I felt like that with Alien Earth as well this year, where I managed to keep up with it week on week. And I feel like that's the way it needs to be.
I feel like
Uh,
episodic programs as well, you have to cap it at an hour.
yeah.
45 minutes to an hour for something that's episodic. I can't be dealing with something that's like, oh, there are 3 episodes of this to go. Each of them is the length of a film.
Yeah.
Is that the case for if
I
so,
think
Ben, you've watched Stranger Things,
Yeah. So
everything that's been released.
I think a lot of the later ones, like
I
Boxing
think the
Day and
one's
whatever
still
the
to
next
come.
one's going to
Yeah.
be, are going to be like an hour and a half. I think the
Okay.
longest one with this one was maybe like an hour and 10.
Okay.
The other ones were less than an hour, but there was
I feel
four of
like you
them.
get hour and 10, you're cheeky, but I'll let it. As soon as you get to an hour and
Ever so
15,
cheeky.
as soon as that is an hour and a quarter. That's a
Yeah.
film.
I think the finale is, I think I remember reading the finale is like 2.5 hours or something, isn't
Okay.
it?
We all know what's going to happen anyway, so.
That is a Lord
Yeah.
of the Rings if you step out the room and have a lunch in the middle. That is a lot.
That does need an intermission.
I just think and I've said this, and unfortunately, I've had me and my mum were disagreeing about this the other day because she loves it and she will not hear a bad word said about it. But I'm like, there's so much of it, but I don't even know if the mythology, the lore, is really as deep as perhaps it claims to be. Like, I know it leans a lot into D&D, and that's great, but I don't know. I feel like it's quite surface level. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I'm here
Yeah.
for it, and also me not being as excited. I don't want anyone to read it as me saying that it is objectively bad. If it's your favorite show, good. I'm
I,
glad. I'm
I
glad for
I've
you. In
said
the
this
same way
before.
that like I'm not going to go and like new Avatar. I'm sure it'll be huge. I couldn't be less interested.
New
And
Avatar.
that's me, not the film. I'm sure it's great.
So
I'm gonna be in the cinema for Avatar.
yeah, hell yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
good. And I'm glad you'll be there,
Yeah,
Josh.
My
yeah.
my
This is
dad
it.
literally said to me the other day. He said, "Are you gonna go and watch the new Abattoir film?" And I went, "What's this? Some sort of horror film? Some sort of horrible horror film?" He meant Avatar, obviously. Bless him.
But Abattoir Could be good.
Yeah.
Could be good.
We need this.
Could
We
be
need an
good.
abattoir.
Um, that's it then. Should we
Oh,
move on
that
to the
though. Bloody film of
main
the week,
event?
isn't it?
There we go then. So the film of the week, which is Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's the remake, of course, of the 1984 film of the same name. The second remake, of course, because there was a 2012 movie called Silent Night, which was the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's a 2025 Christmas slasher film written and directed by Mike P. Nelson. It's the seventh installment overall of the Silent Night, Deadly Night series. It stars Rohan Campbell as Billy Chapman, Ruby Modine, David Lawrence Brown, David Tomlinson. The plot is a child witnesses his parents' murder by a man in a Santa suit. Years later, as an adult, he dons a Santa costume himself and embarks on a violent quest for retribution against those responsible for the traumatic event from his childhood. In terms of ratings, we've got 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, 80% critic score, 76% audience score. Letterboxd 3.0 out of 5. Some choice reviews. Nightmare Maven says, "It's time we get back to the real meaning of Christmas. Killing white supremacists." 4 stars. L Kit Laser says, "Dexter meets Venom, but shot like a Hallmark movie." 2 stars. Horror Syndrome says, "Rohan Campbell once again playing a costume serial killer who finds love in a horror reboot. Once as an accident, twice as a fetish." 3 stars. And Princess Lucas says, "Accurate that they portrayed mentally ill people as good at spotting evil." 4 stars.
What?
I don't know. What
What
was
they've
that?
done
That's
there is mistaken mentally ill people for dogs. They're good at spotting
Yeah,
evil.
that's true. I know. What are they trying to say? Mentally ill people have got, I don't know,
Got a
some sort
venom in
of.
them.
They got that dog in them.
yeah. That was I was nodding along to that re review that you read out. The Dexter meets Venom meets whatever. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, yeah, that is it. And it's 2 stars. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I know. 2 stars. I was
Those
shocked by
things
that.
are, in principle, good.
Dexter meets Venom, because we keep talking about this, that there are lots of films who kind of like do the Venom thing, but like better than Venom. Upgrade is one of them, Andy.
Upgrade is the
Mm.
best Venom film
I
we've
know we
ever
didn't really
had.
get like the voice. We didn't get the voice, do we? Do we get the voice?
Yeah, he chats away to him.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
there we
Yeah.
go. Been a while since I've seen that. But yeah, this is very similar to that, I guess. And the Dexter thing of just killing people who deserve it, who have been naughty, not nice. Um, I was, really surprised by how much I enjoyed this, and I do like the
Yeah.
original, but
Spoilers,
this,
I loved it. I think it was
but this
great.
ripped.
Really good.
Yeah. I didn't know if we could come in straight away very
Yeah, yeah,
enthusiastic.
coming
But
straight away.
yeah, this is the biggest surprise. And reading out your reviews there as well, you obviously picked from all over the sort of scale of ratings. But I'm really surprised at how much, for how good this is. This is flying under the radar. I'm
Mm.
logging into to Letterboxd, and most you guys have logged it. I've logged it. Most of my friends have not logged this yet, and I don't
Mm.
see a lot of people talking about it. So this is a belter.
Time
Yeah.
of year,
I was the
maybe
only one in
people
the
are all.
cinema.
You were the only one in the cinema.
Yeah.
We had a few. Is it just because time of year potentially that people are just, oh, we don't need to go to the cinema again. All the films are done.
They're all catching
Potentially.
up on Ugly Stepsister and everything else. Like, we
Yeah,
got to
Yeah.
catch up for our end of year
yeah.
stuff. This is going to be on some end of year lists, I think.
I think it should be, yeah, because kills were great. I think the performances were great. It kind of was different enough from the original without kind of, disrespecting the nature of the original, that kind of B movie schlock. Um, some great performances. I feel like just having a love interest could have been what this film did, but I think Ruby Modine's character is really nuanced and has got so much to her
And they
that,
have such good chemistry as well, which
Mm.
you
yeah,
cannot take for granted in these things. How many things have we talked about Keeper a few weeks ago, and we're like, they're not a couple.
0% chemistry. Yeah,
Yeah,
0%
good
chemistry.
chemistry.
These guys are great chemistry, despite the fact that the way their relationship starts, which is he follows her. She goes, "Were you staring at my ass?" He goes, "No, no, no." And he goes, "Can I get a job in your shop, please?" Totally normal behavior.
It's how all great love stories start.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's no, you're right, and the whole way through it, Ruby Modine, who plays Pamela, I was like, what do I know her from? I couldn't, I recognized her face and I couldn't think what it was. And it wasn't until the end when I had to search, and it was, she's in Happy Death Day, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah.
She's probably in other things that people are like, oh, she's much better in this, but that's what I knew her from. And she's so good.
I
She's
Is
was
so good
completely
in
she
off
this.
base. I was like, is that John Ralphio's sister? No, it's not.
uh,
She's not
is
at all.
she Matthew Modine related? I feel like I asked this question when I left the cinema,
Her
but
father is Matthew Modine. I didn't know that
there
until
we
just
There
go.
we
now.
go.
There we go.
Gosh,
There we go. We'll forget. I was gonna say I was gonna call her an Epa baby, but that's not fair. We'll forgive her
that's
for
not
that.
fair.
Happy
And
Death Day. Happy
A
Death Day to
Stranger
you.
Things link as well,
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Stranger Things link. But yeah, she was a really interesting character. I feel like perhaps the subplot of the Snatcher didn't quite hit the mark with me, but I feel like everything else was good. I feel like the Snatcher needed to be someone who was present throughout the film rather than just someone who kind of just pops up for a bit. And then I know there were kids missing for the majority of the movie, but I thought it was going to turn out that it was, someone else, or maybe even her, maybe even Ruby Modine's
Yeah,
character.
I thought it
I
might turn out to be someone who thought was good.
Yeah. And he was going to
yeah.
have to, take someone that he loved or had feelings for and go, she's naughty. I like the supernatural element to it as well. That was really good.
Yeah.
I feel like more films need that. Just something absolutely mind-boggling and ridiculous.
They've really elevated the source material here. I haven't seen all six of the Silent Night, Deadly Nights, but from the first one, it's a damning indictment of the care system. But and and also other people in the future. Excuse me, shop owner. I know you are taking someone from our orphanage home. He's had a traumatic past. Here are his records that show that his parents were assaulted and killed by a guy in Santa suit. So he has a long history since he's a child of being really sensitive around Christmas. But thanks for giving him a chance. Immediately, he's like, "Can you dress as Santa, please, in my
We've
shop?"
literally had this in two films in a row. So when we watched Don't Open Till Christmas, a character had witnessed the murder of her dad, who was dressed like Santa. And are we meant to think it's days later, Andy? That's right, isn't it?
I think it's the day
The
after.
day after. Fancy dressing as Santa for a laugh? Oh no, the trauma, the trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild. Whereas this film, I think, takes that material and really it does. I think it's respectful enough to the original. It doesn't shit on the original at all.
No.
Which you'll have all sorts of fans given its age and its legacy and that many sequels. There'll be huge fans of it out there. It does something new with it though, which I found really exciting. I was delighted and surprised at the cinema, and it drove me. I said to John before we started recording, Ben, I had to. Mike P. Nelson, who we will know from the Wrong Turn remake, the Sweet
Yeah.
Revenge, Friday the 13th unofficial sort of prequel like movie that we've got there. But because of the liberal use of royalty-free film, I imagine Santa Claus Conquers the Martians in this film, a
Mm.
film which featured prevalently in Mystery Science Theater 3000, niche program, which I certainly love. Um, I was like, is this the same Mike Nelson who was a major player in that? It's not. That is Mike J. Nelson, not Mike P. Nelson. No relation.
Easily
But
confusing.
it has that knowing that I think that connection for me stayed with me all the way through the film, even though it was made up and in my head.
Mm.
Having that film, like a filmmaker who understands the schlocky or the over the top or maybe the shortcomings as a serious movie that the concept of having someone dress up as Santa and do murders has. And he's between him and the writing team, they found a way to bring that to life in a way that still stays really credible
Mm.
as an action. I'd still say horror movie. It's gory enough, even though we're sort of rooting for the killer. They're all not a sort of entirely rooting for the killer the whole way through. Um, I think it did wonders with the material.
Mm.
Yeah. I like the sequencing of like the reveals, you know. So
Yeah.
you're talking, Ben, a little bit about how maybe the big bad of the What I've totally blanked on it. Is it the catch? Not the catcher.
Snatcher,
The snatcher. Thank you.
not to be
Uh,
mistaken for the grabber.
oh yeah, of
Are you
course. Yeah.
snatching, catching, or grabbing? Maybe all three.
Yeah, distinctly different from the grabber. I really like the sequencing of how the story was told because there was that period of time. There was a period of time where I was kind of like, are we being asked to root for
Yeah.
just a guy who's
Who's a
indiscriminately
serial killer?
killing? And are we, are we thinking that that Ruby Modine's character is potential, or do we have we met this person? But it all actually is very, very meticulously plotted out because that uh, Snatcher, I was about to say grabber. I'm gonna mix it up, but
Well, I
is
know what you
in
mean.
yeah is in the like the very, very first uh
Yeah.
person. I believe, and I don't want to jump around too much, but I guess I will jump around all over the place. That is the person who's providing the drugs that we don't learn exactly
Mm.
how he's involved until all the way at the end. And then just the reveal of, even his parents being
Bad.
potentially bad, like that reveal that like, oh, you're not rooting for a bad guy. There is a reason why he's targeting these people. Was really deftly done. And there is a moment in this, and anyone watching the video will recognize that we basically all have it as our backgrounds. This is the scene where I was like 100% on board with the film because I
Yeah.
did feel I wasn't sure. I didn't have the confidence and the faith in it yet that I was watching something completely kind of unique and doing its own thing. It could have been a by the numbers slasher up
Yeah.
until around about this point, and then I realized, oh no, they have so much more up their sleeves for us.
This is something really special. I love the sort of stylized work, when in his head he's like, it's like a door of an advent calendar is open. We've got those bright
Oh
red
yeah.
sort of title cards almost saying kill whoever the victim is going to be. And then the day of the year. And then it just going from in this titular scene. He sticks his head in the club, sees that it's a white supremacist, like Nazi party full of swastikas on the walls, and he sees that opening speech, and then it goes from kill the name of this woman who he's out to get there to kill Nazis, which in
Kill them
2025,
all.
that's a motto we can all live by.
But even the reveal is wonderful the way they shot it because the reveal is he walks in, he stops, we pan round, realize that he's looking at a room of other Santas. And
Yeah.
that's almost the gag right there. But
Yeah.
then no, the pan continues. Massive, massive swastikas on the wall, and you're just like,
Mm.
what on earth has he walked into?
Yeah. I mean, I think that scene, I think the marketing for this film has kind of been leaning into that a little bit because obviously I know that's going to be a very, very popular scene. Um, but yeah, it's super super satisfying. I feel like a lot of the kills are satisfying. Also, when he kills certain people, sometimes we don't know if they are naughty or nice, so we find out more about them a little bit later on, which kind of fills in those blanks for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I'm not. I was never entirely sure what I felt about. Is it Rowan Campbell? Because obviously his involvement in Halloween Ends is a little bit controversial. In terms of him as a character, he was in The Monkey very briefly as well. But after watching this, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm on board. I think he's great.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize there was any controversy around what's the Halloween
The
controversy?
Oh, just the Halloween
controversy,
Ends isn't very good.
Oh, okay.
the controversy about Halloween Ends is that he is obviously almost a protege of Michael Myers, isn't he?
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Which I think people didn't like
Then
because
steals his mask when he's stuck in the drain that time.
steals his
Got
mask when
yeah.
he's stuck in
Okay,
a
I see.
drain when he's trying to, and then kills himself so that his so that the main can't what so can't have him. That's right, isn't it? No,
Yeah,
if
he
I
sort
can't
of
have
says.
you, no one can. Kills self, which makes no sense. It makes no. If I can have you, no one can. Dead.
It always reminds me of Millhouse and Bart's soul. If the Ayatollah can't have Bart's soul, no one can. Drives a tank.
Yeah, and his role in the monkey is very minor, so it's difficult to say, isn't it? But yeah, this him leading a
Let
film,
me just.
especially like this, is good. I think he was great. This kind of inner voice we've got as well. I mean, I don't know. Did you know who it was going to be? That inner voice, John, from scratch, or
I I feel like they they did telegraph it a little bit. I in the because we get there's obviously an opening kind of prologue scene
Mm.
where we see a much younger Billy um, and his parents being killed by the original Santa killer, and we don't see it in that very first opening prologue, but I think in the very first flashback he sort of he sort of runs out to grab his hand, and the way they shoot it is like there's some kind of connection. It's such
Yeah.
an odd thing to shake hands with the
Yeah.
murderer of your parents that I did kind
Cheers,
of twig
mate.
to that. Yeah, I did kind of twig that, like that's okay. This is what's happening, and this was where we're going with it. But that's not to say like this film didn't surprise me pretty consistently because it did. But that one I did pick up on.
He's
Yeah.
been the Santa Claus, effectively.
Yeah, he has.
Yes.
Exactly. I initially I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if like the trauma had sort of like caused something to happen where he was kind of hearing this voice. But I think it was good. It was a good, because sometimes films can go a bit over the top with this kind of thing, the inner voice, and make a joke of it constantly. But I think it made sense that, if someone's been living with this for all this time, you would know how to handle it. You would know how to continue to go about your day-to-day life without seeming like you were nuts.
Yeah.
I think a lot of films don't do that. They kind of just, I'm like, all right, yeah, we get it. You've got a voice in your head.
And
Give
as
it a
we learn
rest.
later as well, like I think when you begin the film not knowing what we know a little bit later on, um, it is, do you think, is it an internal voice? Is it intrusive thoughts? Is it, just a symptom of a mental illness he has, which through the early readings of the original film is exactly that, right? And we don't get the voice, we just get a character acting erratically. Obviously, later we do learn it is another presence and it is someone who is helping him through his life. So he is a real person that he's talking to.
Yeah,
It's also a very sweet relationship, actually, when at the
yeah,
end with the reveal, or not the reveal, but sort of when we get to see a little bit more about how Billy and Charlie have coexisted all this time, and it's sort of an odd father-son type relationship of
Yeah.
him teaching him how to do things, and the sort of final kind of goodbye, sorry to jump all the way to the end. It
yeah.
was genuinely like a sweet, sad moment, I thought, you know.
Yeah. I think the
No,
relationship
no, I
stuff here
agree.
is
Yeah,
really cool. They're both the sort of father-son relationship that they have as a character together. For someone who they physically never on screen together, forget it, like he's basically acting to himself in terms of physicality. And
mm.
then, the relationship that the couple develop over the film as well. I think the relationship stuff is really invested in really well in this film. And and her father as well that we meet as well. Like, I think it's just and for a film which is about terrible violence and people getting an axe in the back of the head, and a man with a hearing aid that can't hear someone sing, like it is very sweet in its own way as well, which makes it quite a magical Christmas movie, the true meaning of Christmas, if you will.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So in terms of, well, we kind of already mentioned the cast, but in terms of the plot, where do we start? We start with it's Christmas Eve. An 8-year-old Billy Chapman is traveling by car with his parents. Oh wait, no, we
They're
we
at the
open
old
we open
people's
at the
home,
old
right?
people's
And they
home,
do a
don't
bit
we?
of
Initially,
exploitation where the old lady scares him.
old lady scares him. Said, "You want a little sweetie?" And then there's something going on with the parents because the mother says, "Have you done it?" The dad says, "Yes." And then they say to Billy, "Go and see your granddad," and Grandpa is fast asleep watching the Christmas movie you mentioned already, Andy.
Santa Claus conquers the Martians.
Yeah. Fast asleep, but then he wakes up and they have a little chat about Santa Claus.
Asks if you've
Santa
been
Claus
good or bad.
knows he's always watching, which is kind of terrifying anyway, isn't it? He's always bloody watching.
It is a horror movie.
It is a horror movie, yeah, exactly. Do you feel like you felt that as a kid? Did you feel like if you did anything wrong that Santa Claus was gonna not come and get you, but Santa Claus was gonna potentially not give you your Sega Mega Drive?
I think because I led such a quiet and blameless childhood, Ben, I didn't have to worry about that too much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were good boys, all
yeah.
of us. So
I
not a
think, yeah, I
concern.
think it was used against you if you like, I don't know, weren't eating your dinner or something. Well, Santa Claus, you never,
He's watching. He knows you don't eat your veggies.
you don't give a shit about that. You don't care about me not eating my veggies, for God's sake.
It is the last bastion of the exasperated parent, and you have seasonal ones for all time of year. I once sat on the Eurostar somewhere somewhere around the channel when there was a kid doing and the dad was not handling it well. He'd be like, can you just get one pen out to draw with at the moment? The kid's got a fistful of pens with the lid off, just drawing a cover. The mom, who was clearly meant to not be in charge of wrangling this kid for this journey, she'd clearly had the whole time. She's on across the aisle, and then after about 20 minutes of the dad not controlling the kid at all, just leaned over and went, Easter Bunny. And the kid was like, let's sat
Easter
nicely.
Bunny. Well, she's
Easter Bunny was
well, she told
watching.
him about the Easter Bunny.
The
Easter Bunny.
context, all she said was Easter Bunny, but with the tone of voice and the inflection and her
Oh
body
God.
language, it said, The Easter Bunny is watching. You're getting fuck all eggs for Easter. I don't care if the Lord's been resurrected. You
I
are
don't care.
chocolateless this Sunday, mate.
Oh, the bloody Lord. Um. So yeah, Billy goes to see his granddad. They have this chat about Santa, and then his granddad vomits up a load of muck.
Horribly dies.
Yeah.
Horribly dies, vomits up a load of muck. Obviously, Billy screams, terrified. Then we get the title card as well, which was pretty good. Um, and yeah, I guess let's spoil it. So we'll come back to it because the reveal is later on. But what's happened is Billy's mum and dad have purposely killed Grandpa in order to get
We
his
don't know that just yet, but it's
inheritance.
alluded to even now, right? They're like, because they're saying, "Oh, I didn't think it would be that fast," and blah blah blah. They
I'll say I didn't pick up on it. I agree that it is alluded to, and I think it's quite deftly alluded to, but I didn't catch this
I
one at
didn't
all.
pick up on it either. Charlie leant over and said that, and I kind of gave her this look. Maybe.
People love their
Maybe.
elderly relatives, Charlie. Don't be so cynical. My don't use my criminology degree for anything, lads, but on this occasion, I was like, yeah, them first suspects.
First suspect, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit strange, so now have you done it? I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe they'd like got him to sign stuff over, possibly.
Or like said they weren't coming to see him again after this, or they're moving on. Like, yeah,
Okay.
the first reading
We're
is that
done
they've
with
told
you,
him some
mate.
bad news.
Mm.
Yeah, we're sick of you. So yeah, he vomits up all the horrible blood and dies horrifically in front of Billy, of course. But night gets a little bit worse. While driving home, someone crashes into the bar. I say
Rear
crash.
ends their car.
Rear ends a car, a little nudge,
Little
uh,
fender bender.
little fender bender, nothing too extreme. But Dad gets out, walks over. We can see that there's a guy dressed as Santa in. There was a moment earlier as well where the janitor was staring at everybody, and Billy was a little bit freaked out. Um,
I imagine in hindsight he was using his magic powers to understand what the mom was up to.
yeah, he was clearly. Yeah, because the magic power is kind of like work out who's good, who's bad, and he has like a sort of spidey sense as well. Like if
Mm.
someone,
You get like a flashback of what they've done, don't you? So he knows.
it's like the Arkham, it's like Batman when he's trying to work out the crime scene in the Arkham games.
Yeah, you can do a reconstruction.
Yeah. Oh, there's a footprint here. I can now imagine exactly what happened in this room. Somebody, somebody ran in and did this. It is
Yeah.
ridiculous, but still.
And you
Um,
can the Santa powers also allow you to once you know who someone is and you know they're the killer, you can sort of mark them on your hood, can't you? Then you can find them wherever they are.
Yeah,
yeah.
on the radar.
Yeah. He brings up his mini map and he's like, right, that's the waypoint. I'm on the way.
That's right. I know I've got to carry on being a janitor, but I've got urgent things to attend to, which is shooting dead the dad, and then going for the mum. She manages to stick him in the neck with a stiletto.
Yeah.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stiletto heel right in the neck.
But then he continues to shoot her dead.
He
All what
turns her to
with
custard because as he falls backwards, she's lying across the front seats of the car.
yeah.
She stabs him in the neck, and as he falls backwards, he just turns her into a fine mist.
Turns her into a fine mist. Billy, does he end up with a bit of blood on him? Who knows? Billy obviously is terrified, but he gets out of the car. And yeah, so essentially the killer is someone called Charlie, who's a janitor working at Billy's grandfather's care home. Um, Billy walks over and has a little bit of physical contact with Charlie, and an electrical surge appears to pass between them, passing some sort of unseen supernatural force.
It's red magic as well, one of the colors of Christmas.
A
Very
lovely bit of
Christmassy.
red magic. Um, what happens to Billy? Oh yeah,
We
he
just
gets.
flash
They,
forward to present day, I
oh
guess.
wait, no, we see him in care as well, don't we?
Do we see him in care late? We see the flashback to care
I think we see the
later.
flashback. I think the Wikipedia thing is in chronological order, so I'm
Yeah,
probably
so
gonna
we
have
see a
to make
flashback to
sure.
care when he reveals that he did when he did his first murder when he was for the moment just stylistically in the film we flash forward to like him holding that hand to him waking up as if that has been a nightmare and it is present day. He's big bad
That's
Billy
right.
grown up now.
He's big and grown up. He's in a motel, and he's already done a murder in this motel,
Hmm.
isn't he?
He has
He's
Yeah,
indeed, yeah.
he's killed a guy who was like in the bathroom, and now he's trying to make a run for it because there's some people turning up looking for him, including the police officer. This police officer, mind, is a serious piece of work.
piece of shit.
Piece of shit. Piece of. I honestly feel like the best villains have got to be villains who are written like this, as being like either women hating or like just spurned lovers. They're so easy to hate. They're
Yeah,
like so
Abusing their power.
it's just
Yeah.
so it's I feel like it's villain writing 101 because some villains when they've got a little bit of a they're a bit morally grey. You're a bit like, well, they're kind of cool, aren't they? Get me a villain who is
Yeah.
just the worst, and
But
it will bring out
absolutely makes
my
your skin
rage.
crawl. Who
there's
you know
nothing likable about
on
this guy.
paper is on the side of good, is a policeman, is doing all these things, and then all you need to do is get him a quiet moment in a shady police cell and they're smelling a woman's hair. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, literally go. So obviously we get to this, but this police officer has got history with our other main character, Pamela, and they were together, but they split up because he punched her in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what I
It's
mean?
what, yeah, it's the easiest guy to hate ever.
Yeah.
And it seems like 101, but it just works
And
so
he just wants a
well.
second. The fact he wants a second chance as well, just like someone needs to take it to one side and go, listen, mate, it's done. It's done for. There's no coming
Yeah.
back from that. Sorry. All the
Yeah,
best.
it's absolutely wild. And I quite like how is his name Max? Um
Hold on, I might
What the yeah, Max.
Max, yeah.
yeah.
Max Benedict sounds like a bit of an asshole, doesn't
Oh, yeah, I
Sorry
love
to
it
all the
how
Max Benedicts out there.
he's quite sparingly used, right? Like he's not in every
Oh
scene in the
yeah.
film. He comes back at some pivotal moments, but every time he's on screen, you are like Billy and Charlie, super high alert. Like this fucking guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like the Snatcher stuff. I feel like we had a easy to hate villain there, and I think we just needed like because he was doing some deplorable stuff alongside the stuff he'd done in the
He's
past.
part of it, right? He's
He's
part
part
of
of it.
the.
Let's just make
Yeah.
him like the instigator of it somehow. Somehow he's kind of just there along for the ride. I feel like if he was the instigator of it, the head honcho, it would have been better. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
My
We'll
read
we'll
on him
come
was
to
that
it.
he kind of was the Snatcher, though. Max kind of is the
I
Snatcher.
think it's
He's
the guy
working in
in the
cahoots.
ball pit who's officially the snatcher, but I think
Okay.
he was enabling that, looking the other
Yeah.
way, taking the
Oh, okay, yeah,
money.
got you.
Well, we see him like actually using some, like injecting some people as well, right? Max, is that
Yeah,
Max
well,
or
I
is
think
that
he's
some?
yeah, he's part of it. He's certainly enabling the drugs. He's certainly. I feel it's the lumberyard owner who is the guy that we get in the ball
Hmm.
Yeah.
pit who is the snatcher.
But
But
that's the thing. It was,
maybe
a,
technically they're all the snatcher.
yeah, it was just a bit confusing, wasn't it? I feel like if we spent a bit more time with the three of them at the start, potentially, we don't have to reveal that they're involved in any way, but maybe we establish their characters a little bit, and then as time goes on, we realize they're all involved. Maybe
Yeah,
we
well, right now they're
suspect
just
each
Chekhov's
one.
bad blokes.
Maybe we suspect each one in different parts of the film, but then it's
Mm.
revealed. It's actually all of them. Silly, silly. Um, but yeah, this guy, the fact that he abuses his power, the fact that he doesn't even work in the town and he keeps turning up because he's absolutely obsessed with Pam, or obviously spurned. Is that the right
Yeah.
word? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
the worst guy. But yeah, they escape. Billy gets on the. He uses his venom powers with the voice in his head to kind of evade the police who are just turning up at this motel where he's just done a murder.
why did he go
Climbs up a
over?
ladder and over the roof.
Why did you go over the roof? Why didn't you go round?
They're not going to be looking up, and they get to that really cool shot where
As the
they
crow
just get
flies.
around the corner at our eye level, just as he's disappeared over the crest of the roof. Very clever.
Well, it's a 3 minute walk around the building, or a 2.5 minute walk up and
If
over.
if you can
I'm
climb a
saving
ladder
time.
like that, I mean, for me, I'm ever so slow on a ladder because I get the collie
Oh
wobbles
yeah.
3 steps up, but
I do that
it
thing
can
where I
be
go down the
straight
other
up.
side of the roof and like slip and just go down on my ass.
Thump.
Bump.
But yeah, he gets on the bus and basically gets out of town and then wakes up just apropos of nothing. Like the bus has stopped and he's like, "Oh, where am I?" 'Cause, like he's a drifter. He tells you that he
Yeah.
just drifts from town to town, and he's found himself in this new place. Um, he wanders into a diner and he stops for a drink and he sees Pam across the way. And what does the waitress describe her as? Chocolate covered onion or something like that.
Oh yeah, I've never
Oh,
heard
what
that
does it?
before. Chocolate covered onion. Yeah, like
She
she's
says,
this.
"Oh, I call her Pammy because she hates it."
Mm,
Um, and yeah, I call her Pammy because she hates it, but you want to be careful with that one because she's trouble.
yeah. He's so obviously he. So it seems like during the Christmas period, he just kills people he deems naughty.
And he has a book that
And
he
he's got a
puts a drop
book.
of their blood in, his little fingerprint.
This was gnarly. I thought
Yeah,
this
this
was
was cool.
gnarly. This was like again, this was another an extra little detail that I think took it to a really interesting place. This horrible like because it looked like there's so much blood in these books that it looked like he'd done it over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
They say that he's on a 10-year streak.
He's on a bloody 10 year street. This guy.
So that would
Um,
make him 27. He did his first murder when he was 17.
how old was the guy in the first? Because we've mentioned this a lot. Christmas Evil, Silent Night, Deadly Night, where someone's so affected by the trauma of a Santa Claus doing something horrible to them when they're young, but they seem to wait like 30 years before they go, right, that's it.
I
Gonna
think
start
he's
doing
meant to
some
be a
murder.
teenager. It's been a while. John, did you watch it more recently than me? Did you watch it in prep for this?
Yeah, so the timeline, like, so you're asking when
The
the
original Silent Night, Deadly Night. Is he meant to be 17? He's meant to be like a
oh
teenager, right?
oh yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
He's
I
like,
don't
I
know.
can't
It's
really
been too
yeah.
remember.
long ago for me. Might we
Yeah,
might be able
been
to
a little
find
while.
out.
He
I'll
might be
trust
17,
Andy's.
but he's built like a fridge. He's a big lad. He's a big old unit in the original.
Serious unit. Um, so yeah, and obviously this voice is urging Billy to punish these people, and the Santa suit he puts on is like it like activates him, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's fine when he hasn't got the suit on. When he puts the suit on, takes him to a place that allows him to kill these
This
people.
was one of the bits that I'm maybe a little bit ahead of the plot and how it's revealing, but this is the only bit that didn't quite make perfect sense to me. But maybe it does from what you just said. So he has to wear, because as the thing is playing out, obviously Charlie is sort of, we're hearing Charlie's voice and he's saying, that person. And we're not exactly at this stage of the film really sure why he's being chosen. We just kind of think, Charlie
Yeah,
just might be a homicidal
yeah.
maniac voice. We don't know that that he's
It's
getting
all.
these. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry, John. You
No,
were just gonna. I interrupted you halfway through your point, but I think I initially I was like they do something that like he doesn't like. So the first guy is a bit touchy feely.
yeah,
That's
Second
what I thought.
guy,
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you are," because he's a bit gropey. He's an older guy. He's
yeah,
like, "Oh, if I was 20 years younger," Pam's clearly uncomfortable once he works at the shop. He very quickly, after embarrassing himself, let's bring us to code here. After he embarrasses himself by walking into the shop, and she sort of calls him out, said, "Oh, you look at my bum
yeah.
in the shop." There he goes, "No, I was just looking for a present." He goes, "Oh, a glass unicorn, the murder weapon in Black Christmas. Wonder if they did it on purpose."
They
Oh,
must
Um,
have
well
done. If
remembered.
that's the case, they
or
must have.
and he goes out and he immediately says he's looking for a job. He speaks to her dad. They have a good laugh. He's a good fella, and he gets the job. And then immediately they're working together. And then the first day they're together, they're starting to talk a little bit. They share names, and he helps to decorate a Christmas tree. And then there's that fella who is rubbing her arm, and Charlie's voice says, "Him, get
Yeah.
him."
It seems like they just do something that's like a little bit out of sorts, and he
Yeah.
judges them immediately. But there must be something more to it.
Well,
Um,
we learn a little bit later on to jump forward into when it's actually explained rather than having to flashback like a child telling a story later. But we learn later on here that what Billy can see through Charlie and his magic in his head is that he can see exactly what they have done that's naughty.
yeah,
So we as an audience don't see that until later when it shows us. When the murder is discovered later on, and when when Billy's explaining everything about him to Pam later on. But what we understand later that Billy sees when he looks at the old man, we as an audience see him stroking her arm and being a bit lechy. He has seen that this guy has stabbed his wife to death and she is in the basement of his house
yeah,
wrapped in a carpet.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But the
he
thing,
knows.
but the thing that I don't understand, and I am jumping ahead just ever so slightly, but it's because you were talking about him putting on the Santa suit, and I think you guys will be able to explain it to me, is why is it a risk for Billy to play Santa with the kids?
I think he says here that he doesn't need to wear the Santa suit, but that helps him separate.
Hmm.
That basically is like an activation thing. So when he
Yeah.
does murders, he does that, and that helps him to get in the zone
I guess it
for
puts him in a certain headspace because if he's been doing
actually
it for
doing
10 years,
the killing.
10 years, every time he's put the Santa suit on, he's killed somebody. You know,
Yeah.
if it's something that maybe he
Yeah.
doesn't have total control over it.
Because that was the only one when it all was revealed at the end. And sorry, I'm jumping around all over the place, but like when he's got, it's coming up in a second in the shop. The people who own the shop that he's working for now, they're like, "Oh, our Santa hasn't turned up, and that's because he's killed him.
Yeah.
Can you help out?" And when the reveal came at the end, and I was thinking back to that scene because there's a little girl sitting on his knee, and he's trying to like choke out the script of like, have you been good this year? Blah blah blah. But he's in his back of his hand, he's holding like a
The
Stanley knife.
switchblade. I think because she begins by saying she's been naughty, right? She goes, "Oh, I did this to my mom," and I think he has been so conditioned that
This is
Oh,
this.
it. I
maybe that's what it is.
threw a
He's a
banana
bit,
at my mum.
yeah, he's a bit Winter Soldier, I think, like in the
Okay.
early things. That basically, when he puts the Santa suit on, it's killing time.
I knew you'd be able to
Yeah.
clear it up. I think it's because of the banana throwing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Depending how
think it
ripe the
is because
banana
the little girl
was.
says that she did something naughty, and he's like, "Oh," and then he's able to pull it back by saying, "Oh, that's good. You said sorry. That's fine."
Oh, okay. You've solved it. Okay, that makes perfect sense now. Great.
Yeah.
Perfect storytelling.
Because I was a bit like, he agrees to it ever so quickly. Charlie's like, absolutely not. Hell no. No way. But Billy's like, yeah, go on then. Suppose so.
Yeah, wants
Get
to
me in the
make him all
suit.
happy. But before we
Yeah.
talk about the Santa scene, let's talk about him sorting out his first victim that he's chosen. Then, so this man who we see comes into the store, older guy. We see him sort of being a little bit lechy with Pam. He's like stroking her arm and saying, "Oh, if I was 20 years younger, you'd still be 20 years older than me, mate. So keep going." Um,
Oh my God.
all right, DiCaprio,
Absolutely.
wind it in. Um, and he feels he has to kill him. So that evening, we see him gets his Santa suit out.
Mm.
Um, he heads along, and then we get, I think, what is a very, very cool, like contained killing scene. It's just like the guy getting ready for his bedtime. He's got his cocoa on. He's taking his hearing aids out, and then we see Billy come in and take his Santa boots off and creep up behind him with a. We've seen before. He has his backpack, and we've seen him get some nice accommodation to stay in, and then he pulls what on paper you read as a baseball bat or something like that first, right? And then he pulls it out, and it's a massive double-sided hatchet.
Yeah. It's cool because we see the origin of how he got that as well, don't we? So
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
he was committing murders with a hammer at one point, but then he kills a guy who like is working on his car and takes the axe and
has a
l-
hatchet just there. Yeah.
yeah, lowers the car down onto him as well. That was pretty good.
I feel like this scene is very much it's part of the story, and it's really, but it's like an iconic. This is a Santa Claus related kill, and I feel almost it was greatly in service of the film's trailer
Mm.
because we get to see him standing over someone watching the TV and whisper like naughty before
Yeah.
smashing them in the
And he
head
does
with an
kind of hear it,
axe.
doesn't he? He kind of goes like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, does him in, absolutely obliterates his skull. Um, and we do get like obviously Pam saying we don't know where he is or something like that, don't we? Oh yeah, because the Santa
Oh, the
doesn't turn
next
up.
day hasn't come in because that's when he goes in and he goes, "Oh, is this before or after we have the coffee?" I think we go. So the first, so there has to be a day in between. They go in, they have another fun day at work. They're getting on well, and she asks if he will go to the baseball game with her. Right?
Yeah,
Mm.
and that's where they spot the next victim as well.
They spot the next victim there.
What does
It's a
she do where
woman
she gets like?
shouting at her kid and being horrible. And
That's
again,
right.
our
Oh
view from
yeah,
this
what does
one
she
is,
do?
oh, he's gonna kill her because she's rude to his kid, to her
Yeah,
kid.
and I guess her being leading a secret Nazi Christmas party is just a bonus.
It's just a bonus. But right now, but obviously we do know again, we've seen her killing people in one of the
I've
flashbacks
just realised
later.
as well, what is the weird thing where he's looking at her? Pam like says, "Oh, you're having a look at that lady, are you? I'm going to introduce you." And then she says something like, "Oh, I know what you're thinking." What's going on here?
I think she's implying that he fancies her because
Yeah.
they're,
That's what I
they're
was thinking.
at
Just
that
like
moment
randomly,
they've just
oh,
come out to the game together, right? Like it's not
yeah,
a
yeah,
date.
yeah. Oh, just looking over at someone now means you immediately fancy them, no
But
matter
the
how.
insinuation is because he's seeing actually what she's done, he's
Yeah.
probably staring for
Yeah.
quite a long time.
Oh, okay, I've got you. So he's just constantly looking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So she
got
calls
you.
this woman over, introduces her, and then we see that Pam has her own struggles, right? She has what she describes as like explosive personality disorder, EPD. Not a psychiatrist, lads. I've never claimed to be one, so I can't tell you if that's a real thing or not. But she basically sees two other boys, little boys, bullying her nephew. So she
Oh,
goes over
bigger
and
than
beats the
him.
fuck out of them.
She goes and literally like breaks, I guess, breaks their nose and just like absolutely obliterates them. And the coach obviously didn't intervene either, so that was a bit annoying.
This is such a great character trait because one, it sets her up as like being maybe potentially too obvious candidate for the Snatcher, who we've already heard about,
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
she's obviously happy to beat up children. But it puts her, because she gets into trouble, it puts her back into Max's clutches, really, because the next time we see her is at the police
yeah.
station.
yeah. And then he basically gets her off the charges. Apparently, if you know someone in the police, you can beat up kids with a hockey stick.
Because he sort of says, "Oh, are you still doing this?" You know, that was obviously something that she's obviously been doing for a while, and this probably wasn't the first time that he'd kind of like got her off of it. And yeah, he's using his power against, like, even no matter what horrible things he's done to her, he's still kind of like going, "Oh, it has to be me who comes to rescue you." That's what he wants it to be, anyway, isn't it?
Hmm. Yeah,
It's total
absolutely.
manipulation, total like controlling type thing. This is exactly one of the reasons why he's so easy to hate because he's such a dick,
Yeah.
but also he's got all the power in these scenarios.
It's such a wonderfully lit scene as well. It's in the dark in this like police cell where he just comes out of the shadows there. It's really, really well done.
It's like Batman appearing behind the Joker in The Dark
It's,
Knight all over again, isn't
It's
it? Where is she? Um, so the next kill is obviously Billy going to the secret Nazi party. He obviously doesn't know it. He
they're
thinks
getting
he's
close, aren't they? And then he goes,
regathering.
they're kind of having a bit of an emotional touch point together. And then he goes, "Can I borrow your car?" And she's like, "Wow, yeah, sure.
There's a lot of that
Off you pop."
there's a lot of that in films, isn't there? I feel like the ramifications of that and the adding an extra person onto the insurance is so it never happens in the UK. No one goes, "Can I borrow your car?" You go, "Sorry, no, you can. What's wrong with you?" Happens
uh,
all the time. What film did we see recently where someone just like let them have the car? Oh, Razorback. Remember?
Can I borrow your
Random
car? Yeah.
man, the Australian Outback randomly goes into a bar, says, "I need to go and speak to this person or find this person." The owner of the bar says, "Borrow my motor," and he goes, "Yeah, cheers, I will," and that's it. No questions asked.
I believe it more in
Great.
the outback. This
Yeah,
just
I
borrows a
guess
car.
so.
He has to drive for an hour. He has to check in his. No, he doesn't check in his axe. That's a bit later. The guy searches him dressed as Santa, and then we walk in. And John, you've described this scene wonderfully already. We have a pan round to feel that it is a party full of Santas, and then we very quickly learn it's also a fascist gathering.
Yeah, it's a big old gathering of fascists, and
Talking about dreaming of a white power Christmas, and it
dreaming
goes
of a
from
white power Christmas. Well,
kill
yeah, she
this
does a big
lady's name to
speech. Yeah, what is her
Cool.
name?
Oh, I don't
uh,
remember what her name
I
is.
don't remember either.
But this wouldn't have you wouldn't have had the same experience of this, Andy, in your screening, because as you already said, and I can't remember if you said this off air or on, but
it
you
was
were the
just
only person in your screening. But in my screening, that this reveal went down pretty. There was like I heard odd like gasps and laughs, and like it was such a reveal. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
yeah, it was so good. And then I love maybe this is the actor's audition for a Batman role in the future, Ben, because he goes out to the back of his car. Charlie's going, well, he goes, what are you going to do? And he goes, I'm going to kill all of them. He's like, oh, he says like because Charlie's kind of giving him advice, saying, wait for her to come out, just
yeah.
get her at the end, or she's met you when she's interested, get her on her own, and do that. And he goes, no, I'm going to kill all of them. And he goes, well, fine. If you're going to do that, at
At
least
least,
get a gun.
at
He
least
goes, "Our
take a
guns are
gun.
for pussies." And he walks up to the bouncer, axes him to death, walks in, locks the door, and begins.
Again, I enjoy when a character like is taking on loads and loads of people and still like get a couple of hits in on him. He gets stabbed in the shoulder, he gets shot in the leg at one point, doesn't he? He gets a few punches in the face. It just feels a bit more believable, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love it how like he still takes hits, and when the main target comes out with an Uzi and shoots
God,
loads of her
yeah.
own people, I think he does like get clipped in the leg, doesn't he?
She
So he's not
literally mows
invincible.
down most of her own people, which is kind of crazy. Um, yeah. He manages to jump behind the bar, doesn't he, and evade that, and she runs off. She escapes on a quad bike. Is that right?
Yeah, like a quad bike or a skidoo or whatever it is, like a little
Yeah,
like an ATV.
yeah. But then, how does he get her? I know he
Charlie
chops off.
knows. He goes, "Oh, don't worry, I know where she's going." And there's a great scene where he's kind of hiding
Yeah,
against a tree
yeah,
as she's
yeah,
driving, and he just swings out and lops her head off.
yeah.
This
Or
is a
just
film.
the top of her head, right? It's
I think
like,
all of it, right? Because
or
the
is it
hat
all?
spins off, and then the hat
Oh,
lands
Mm.
yeah,
next
you're
to her
right.
head.
Because he does
Oh,
say
yeah, you're
later
right.
as well. He says like, "I never heard of her off the top of my head" or something like that. Doesn't he say something like that? He said when he's
Yeah.
getting questioned by the police, he drops the "off the top of my head"
Yeah,
line.
very good. But it's hard to describe the scene because so much happens. It's just him in a locked room
Yeah.
It's
axing a
chaos.
load of fascists.
You have no idea who's falling, who he is. Everyone's dressed as Santa.
Yeah.
It's madness, but it's so funny.
I guess this is what makes it easy as well. When she has a gun and is shooting, you can lose track of him in that crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That
he
must be
burns the
why it
place
happened.
down after he's left.
He plays it pretty straight, man, for the whole film, doesn't he? He's not like he doesn't do anything too over the top. He doesn't seem to lose control at any
He doesn't do
point.
many catchphrases. Like he
Doesn't do
does
many
those fun jokes when he like
catchphrases.
says to the police, "Oh, not off the top of my head," but
Yeah, it's pretty like he plays it pretty straight and he's quite dry with like the humor.
yeah,
But I thought it really worked.
I love him. I love him for it. Like he was seeing his delivery of this role has a little bit more lightness and a little bit more humor to it. Like he would have been if they'd carried on this, he'd have been wasted as Michael Myers Jr., a faceless, not
Yeah.
speaking, silent killing machine. This guy needs action and lines and some heart behind it, and I think he's
Well,
very well cast in this
it's
role.
Ray Nicholson all over again, isn't it? Obviously didn't like him well, not that we didn't like him, but he
Didn't have
did
anything
very
to do in
little
Smile 2.
in Smile 2. But when he turned up in Borderline, we were like, holy shit, he's great.
Yes, great.
Hmm. Um, okay, so after this killing, obviously the police are questioning uh various people. and I think he feels the net closing in, doesn't he, Billy, at this
And
point?
Charlie kind of is like, right, we have to leave, right?
Yeah.
But actually, between Pam and her dad sticking up for him and saying, "Oh no, he's a good guy. He's around here." The police sort of give him sort of surface level questioning and go, "Well, that's all we need. Good on you." And it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
"Oh,
fine. Carry on, mate.
And he's got
but
he's got a massive shiner at this point as well.
How did you do that? They say, yeah.
Yeah, just a
A
box.
box fell on my head. When he said
yeah." And
when he said box, I thought he meant he's been boxing.
I thought that as well. I thought
he goes,
that's
"No,"
exactly what he said.
and that, so that, the police have a similar response, right? They're like, "What do you mean box?" Because oh, I work in the stock room. A
Box hit me in
box
the
fell on
corner.
my
Oh
face.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
this
So
is when he
obviously,
plays Santa as well, right?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, is this the point? Oh, right. I was way ahead of. Yeah, okay. The sequencing.
So
Yeah,
he
you're
goes
right.
in and plays. He goes in and like they ask him to play Santa. Charlie, the voice in Billy's head's like, no, no, don't do it. But then once he does, he settles in and he talks him through.
Mm.
He gets him through this situation, as we learn later. Like he's done with everything else difficult in his life, he's been a big support to get him through what he needs to do, and it's a great success. He's not only a big hit with the kids, but after they've gone and he's had a talk with the police, we get a different kind of jump scare in which he's in his room getting everything set up and Charlie's saying, right, you got to go out and find someone to do a murder on because you don't want to break the streak now. And then he's surprised with a big old snog.
No, no, I don't feel that way about you. What are you playing at? You got it all wrong. No, he loves it, of course. It's like a fast track relationship. This is the fact that they're like in bed watching true crime stuff, like mere minutes later. Is like, hang on a minute, they've known each other for like 3 days.
That's tomorrow. They're like by tomorrow they're like sleeping over and watching TV in bed together. This first day
Craig
though, it's
David
just
seven
no.
days all over again.
Keep the Santa suit on.
Keep the
Oh,
Santa
yeah.
suit on,
But
will you?
let's just remember in the sequencing of events, that's right. He has just been stabbed and shot, and it's never referenced.
No,
Yeah,
no
he
one
just
gets.
Doesn't
fixes it.
notice.
He fixes it in his room, doesn't he? He
Yeah, yeah.
pulls the bullet out, pulls vodka in it. Ever so sore, comes a bit sharp.
But I
And
mean,
they,
the Santa suit isn't gonna cover all of that. Like if you're getting hot and heavy, and the
Yeah.
person that you're getting hot and heavy with has been shot and stabbed.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I think
It's
you'd have
wild that
other
he gets
things
away
on.
with that.
You'd have other things on your mind, wouldn't you? I feel like you'd struggle to rise to the occasion. Oh, I've been shot, been stabbed. Can you still? Probably.
He obviously did. It happened off screen. This is in
Yeah.
headcanon, but I think he did.
Yeah.
So around about this time, this is when reports are spreading about missing children and a suspected abductor referred to as a snatcher. We see the brother.
Posters arrive every day, right? So we see one poster when he first goes into the shop, and you see more posters keep arriving.
Yeah. Is it her nephew or a little brother, did we say? Nephew.
It's her nephew. So she
Nephew.
has a sister,
That's right, yeah.
who is, I don't think she's in the film. Maybe she's in a scene later on, but
Mm.
she's not in it particularly much. And she
There's been a
doesn't
load of
deal with the
murders.
fact that
All the
her.
Nazis have been killed. Have they? I'm
Yeah,
not
because
even
he
in this
burns the
film.
Nazi lodge down, so maybe the police don't know
Oh
they were
yeah, of
all
course.
horrible, horrible Nazis.
Yeah, because they say, oh yeah, so because the nephew talks about the snatcher and so it says, yeah, you've been snatching up your kids, snatching your people up.
Hide your
Hide
kids,
your
hide your
kids,
wife.
hide your wife, hide your husband, because they're snatching everybody out here. Um, yeah, and then when do we get the bit where the
Well,
dad just
well,
randomly?
basically because Charlie says in his head, look, I think he at some point explains, like, why do we have to? Because he doesn't want to do this killer. Maybe there's a day in between here, but there is a scene where Charlie and Billy are talking on their own, of course. He
Yeah,
says, why do we have to do this? And um, Charlie explains, or to us, the audience, because Billy doesn't want to say it, that if he doesn't kill someone who deserves it every day in Advent, then someone who doesn't deserve it or
yeah.
anyone at random can be killed.
Because they say
And
at
I
one point,
guess
like, "Oh,
the
we've already
implication
missed a
is
day."
that because he is together with Pam and they are tucked up in bed together, not doing, he's not out doing a killing,
Mm.
then the way that the universe reacts, this it's not explicitly done, but you could imply it as this, is that Pam's dad is closing up the shop that night. Um, Pam's dad is closing up the shop that
It's
night.
Christmas Eve as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Christmas Eve
Close
into
up a
Christmas
bit
Day.
earlier, mate. Get yourself home.
Yeah. Oh, and at this
Got this
point, we
last minute
found
shopping today.
Yeah.
Get
the
to
old man has been the other guy that he killed earlier has been found when his daughter came round, and that's what prompted the police to be investigating. Right. So his daughter has turned up, found him, and then everyone's like, but the craziest thing was they found his wife's body in the basement. He was a bad guy. So we as an audience now know that you've
Yeah.
got some visibility into that he is killing truly naughty people, not like in the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, where sometimes kissing your boyfriend out of wedlock, naughty. Asking for petrol money when you give someone a lift, naughty. Being killed.
Actual naughty things. And also, like, naughty is probably not the right word to describe this. Killed your wife and put her under the floorboard. That's a bit naughty.
Naughty. Um, yeah, so this is all coming out now. They've discovered some of the murders, but the Snatcher is still at large, and it's Pam's dad who basically is locking up the shop. He hears a commotion, and he sees one of the missing boys in the back of a
Yeah.
car.
Tied up.
The Snatcher, in a Santa mask, comes up behind him and shoots him dead.
Comes up behind him, shoots him dead in cold blood. Ever so unnecessary. Why was he just parked that there with his van and a victim? I suppose he's just doing it
In the
Do
middle
it
of snatching, I
as
guess.
and
Yeah.
when he can. Yeah. And then Rowan obviously manages to see. No, Rowan, that's the actor's name. Billy manages to see the actual act of this. He sees it before the police see it.
He
But
looks it back. He looks at it on the CCTV, but I think maybe the police have seen it because the guy is wearing a Santa mask, so all you see is him waving at the CCTV camera. But what the killer, the Snatcher, hasn't taken into account there is that Billy has magic powers because he's there talking to Charlie, and and he says, "Got him."
Yeah. As soon
So
as
he's
they
on.
make, as soon as the superpower is, and this is something that actually that we haven't specified, and I didn't pick up on it immediately, but every time we see Max in the
Yeah.
film, Charlie in
Doesn't get a
Billy's
look at him.
head is saying, "Look up, look over
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
scan the room," and he
Well,
never spots him because
no.
if he did spot him, he would immediately see he's a baddie, and we
Yeah.
can't have that happen yet. But
Yeah, he can't see him. Yeah.
this is a really interesting little kind of weird sci-fi power almost. It's like, oh yeah, I've seen this guy now. He's on my mini map. I can find him wherever he goes.
Yeah.
And it's
I
a
know his
really
house.
it's a really neat little, it solves a lot of story problems. I don't have to find him. I can just go straight to him. Perfect.
Multimedia.
Yeah.
I want a game of this. This should be Ubisoft have done every single significant period in history at this point. This should be the new Assassin's Creed.
Small
Is
town
he dressed as a
America.
Santa the whole time?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Assassin's Creed Christmas. And you are
Advent.
Billy. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Advent. And you're going round, lovely snowy community, get them on your mini maps.
Sounds
Hell
awesome,
yeah.
actually. I'd watch
Come
that.
on,
He does.
Ubisoft.
So obviously this is a horrible thing to happen, but the fact that it happens on pretty much on Christmas Day, everybody the next day around the shop devastated. Christmas Day's ruined. It's like EastEnders. Someone always ends up dead in EastEnders at Christmas. How can you enjoy yourself? How can you settle down and have a lovely bit of Christmas dinner, bit of Christmas pudding? I was about to say watch the Queen's speech. I mean, I wouldn't watch it if it was a Queen or a King's speech, but some people like it.
Oh, can you imagine if bloody Charlie and Billy were looking at the Royals on the telly? He'd be like, hang on a minute. They're flagged onto my mini map right away. They've done some naughty things in their time.
Ever so
Standing up on that
naughty.
balcony.
Very naughty. Um, and this kind of like spurs Billy. There's a moment as well where Pam's crying into his arms in the stock room. And Max again creeps down and has a little look. What's your problem, Max? Get out of it. But Billy pretty much sees this as a time to go, I'm just gonna tell her the truth. And again, this is kind of refreshing because how often do we say this in films? This character just needs to tell the truth, and
Have a
if they did,
conversation.
have a conversation, and there would all the issues that would be thrown up by this can be immediately avoided. but also because Pam is a little bit wired in a different way as well. I like the fact that she doesn't just instantly go, "Oh my God, I'm terrified of you. You're a serial killer."
Yeah.
She kind of goes,
This is my new Mr. and Mrs. Claus. This is my dream
"Yeah."
couple. This is my natural born killers. This is the
It's just a little bit less obvious, isn't it? Like
yeah.
just, we don't feel worried over. We kind of go, "Oh God, he's got that in the open." There we
Yeah.
go.
Thank goodness we can talk about this openly. I love the little because basically we see Pam obviously very upset. Her father's been murdered, and she kind of said like, "I wish Santa was real because I would wish for
Mm.
my Christmas wish would be that I could that Santa could bring me the person that killed my dad, and then I could, he could then watch me absolutely kill him." And he's like, "What if I told you I could make your Christmas wish come true? What do you mean?
Yeah, what you bloody mean? I don't know what you
I'm a
bloody
big
mean.
murderer."
Yeah, but I guess he doesn't go straight in with that. He kind of just explains his childhood trauma. Um, I also like that she just believes him because again, how
Yeah.
many times in films does someone just go, "You're crazy! What a load of nonsense!"
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
It,
completely changed my character in the way. And this is where we see his 17-year-old flashback, right? He talks about how the terrible person that fostered them, who was basically drugging the
Oh
kids all
yeah,
day so she could go out. She punished the kids, like if they did anything, that she would basically like if you broke an ornament, then she'd break you. And she was taking loads of money. So on his 17th
Jesus.
birthday, or like his 17th Christmas, he got battered doing it, but then shoved her into some antlers and
yeah.
killed her.
Yeah, and again, he kind of explains that it was his first murder, so like it was a little bit rough around the edges.
Yeah, I liked
Um,
how scrappy it was. And just
yeah,
him dropping the ornament as well as a lovely little
yeah.
right in front of her face.
It's a good first kill, and unlike Orphan first kill, where the first kill was I've already been doing kills for ages, so
I'm
who
a wicked
knows?
murderer. Yeah.
I am, yeah, I like that he was, yeah, a little bit not great at it, which was good.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and she
then
was,
he basically also explains at this point. So we've talked about it, as written as we've gone through the film that what you can see, but at this point as an audience,
mm,
and I think it was really well done. It now shows us what he saw every time he looked at one of those people. So he saw that that guy had actually killed his wife. He saw
yeah,
that that woman had, like, I think it showed that she had someone tied to a chair that she shot. And we also have like a wonderful little montage of all the kills he's done over 10 years. We see a little musical number. We see like a bow and arrow. We see lots of people getting
I like that he mixes it up on the
killed by
old weapon
Santa.
front.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
We
cool.
see this is where we see the car murder as well, right? Where there's a drug dealer who he
Yeah,
drops his car on and then smashes up with the axe. We get basically a lot of bang for our buck. Again, really good trailer bait, right? To see all these
yeah.
individual like vignettes of kills that we can then cut together into a real bloody movie.
And he basically explains that obviously Charlie's voice had guided him since, almost acting as a father figure, showing him the crimes of anyone naughty. And yeah, Pam just accepts Billy's account and agrees to help him locate the snatcher. I guess it's kind of like the proof is in the pudding. Is that the turn of phrase?
The
The proof
Christmas pudding.
is in the Christmas pudding, is in the eating, whatever that phrase is.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, show me then. If you can locate the snatcher and prove to me that you got these superpowers or whatever, then let's do it.
He does immediately. He goes to like a Christmas tree, like a logging site, where we saw the victim of his first murder that was in that opening just after the credit sequence in the motel also
Hmm.
worked there. And we
Yeah,
saw who I imagine is the snatcher, is the boss that was knocking on that door.
yeah, bloody hell. Um,
It's all coming up. It's all wrapped up in a nice little bow in just a second, like a great Christmas gift,
like a
What do you
or
think of
delightful
it's
this?
about to
Christmas
be.
gift.
Yeah, this scene here with the ball pit under the floor.
What a
First
great
creepy
visual
murder
this
house.
is.
So
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. It's so weird. And like, is it a ball pit? Is it like Christmas baubles from a tree? Like, why is the basement filled with it? And just seeing little kids like suspended in it as she goes down and starts digging through it.
yeah.
I can't believe we haven't
You just
seen like a ball pit in a horror movie
yeah.
already. Maybe we have, but I don't
Not since
recall one.
Anna and the Apocalypse have we had a ball
Oh,
pit.
of
Oh
course, there's
God,
one
yeah,
in
it's
Anna
only
and
been
the
a couple of
Apocalypse.
weeks.
I totally forgot. How could I have forgotten Anna and the Apocalypse? One of my favorite Christmas films. Yeah, perfect.
She
Yeah.
just
Well, I'm
jumps
glad to see it
down.
again.
The way she just jumps down in there, I'm like, careful, watch their bloody little ankles. Just jumping down and just crushing some of the kids under there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all the kid, I guess it's not all the kids, but some of the kids
Some of the kids are alive and
are
in there,
alive.
and
Yeah.
they're able
Um,
to rescue them. And like, bearing in mind, this is a horror movie. This is meant to be. This is your slasher. This is your killer. And we've talked about the corruption of things that are generally meant for children. Like your Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honeys, and your Neverland Nightmares, and the like, characters that are beloved by children, like Santa Claus. Everyone
mm,
loves Santa. The fact that
yeah.
even in this world where he is a force for violent retribution against the naughty, is someone that struggles with his mental health, who is an outcast because of it. Totally on board from on this. This is the
Mm,
kind of adult adaptation of beloved children's folklore figures that I want to see. They don't need to be the villains themselves. They can be put into situations like this
mm,
and still be people you can root for. A
yeah.
murderous Santa rescuing kids from a serial killer. Come on.
Yeah. And
Hell yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I had a little bit of trepidation at the start was because I wasn't sure if this film was asking me to root for a
Yeah.
villain. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, and it's like, we root for villains all the time in slashers. But I really love how no, he is the goody.
Yeah.
He's doing a good thing, and he's saving the day.
Mm.
Saving the kids like
Um,
Santa
He's
would.
saving Christmas.
Yeah.
he's saving Christmas. Pam obviously gets dragged into the bull pit by the Snatcher, but guided by Charlie's voice, Billy manages to work out exactly where she is. Um, she's just a couple of feet underneath,
Yeah, he
just
uses
a couple of
detective
balls.
vision and like basically says like he's got
A
his hand
knife to
over her
her
mouth and
throat.
a knife to her throat. You're gonna
Yeah,
have to be careful. So he can't swing in the axe. He has to go with his box cutter, his old
yeah.
Stanley knife. Um,
And then he has a big old struggle. He gets stabbed pretty badly, but he does manage to kill the Snatcher.
yeah, he kills the Snatcher, and I love it. We don't even see it. We just see like a big flurry of both
Yeah,
of them stabbing each other, and then when we see Billy come out, and he asks Charlie, "Did we get him?" He says, "You took his fucking head off."
yeah. Completely decapitated him. And it's one of those things as well, like, when our hero gets into a scuffle and then you think, oh, they're fine. But then they come out and they go, actually, look at my mortal wound. It's
I
not
have
a
been
wound.
stabbed to near death,
I've been stabbed to near death, yeah. They won't die until they notice the wound either. If you can carry on going about your business for years until
like
you
Wile E. Coyote in a cliff edge.
until you notice it and you go, oh,
I'm
dead.
poorly, actually.
Actually
Indeed.
dead. Um, Pam escapes the building to seek help, while Billy remains inside. Police arrive at the scene, including Max, obviously. Max, you absolute fucking wrong'un. I'm sick of the sight of you. Every time
Well,
you
he
turn
sees
up.
Billy limping out first, right? So she's gathering the kids up while he goes on ahead because he knows that he needs
Mm,
help.
yeah. And again, at this point, I was thinking, is he just gonna be an opportunist and shoot Billy because he kind of thinks he's responsible? I didn't necessarily realize Max's involvement at this point, but Billy obviously dies. Our hero
There's some
dies.
ambiguity here because Max does shoot him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Billy comes around and then Max.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course, yeah,
Yeah, so Max does shoot him, but at this point, we know that he's a bad dude and a piece of shit, and that he, has been terrible to Pam.
yeah. Mm,
But in this, at this moment, it is excusable that he shoots him, thinking that he is a dangerous killer. He's a guy covered in blood carrying an axe,
yeah,
and he shoots him. Um,
But it's
Pam
also the
runs over.
first time that Billy sees Max, and we get
Yes.
to
yeah.
find out what Max is up to.
Max's involvement
Yeah.
in
Is
everything.
it
Yeah.
Billy that sees this, or spoil this for in just a second? Is it Pam that sees it?
Oh
Oh,
gosh, is it? Oh, have I misremembered that as well? Yeah, I think
Because
you're actually
Pam
right.
runs over to Billy's side, and you have a
You're right.
farewell between Billy and Charlie,
mm,
and he says that he's gonna miss him, and because you're not going to get your head
yeah.
full of three of them, unfortunately, Charlie is.
No, it's
Charlie's
not how it
time is
works.
done. He's going to be going. Um, Pam runs over to Billy and takes his hand as he dies, and we see that red magic go into her.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, you guys, if you remember differently. I feel we see the full details of Max from Pam's
You're
perspective.
100% right. Yeah, I totally glossed over that. Yeah,
Yeah. Is that right?
it's
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Oh, that's
So
it's
good in
definitely
she
Pam.
can now see,
that's good in a way, though, isn't it? Yeah.
she can see all of Max's crimes, and harkening back to something she said earlier about a kid that picked on her in a playground, she doesn't almost bite Max's nose off. She does bite his nose
Jesus
off.
Christ. This is brutal. I feel like a nose bite off is always brutal. And I've always been affected by it ever since uh Oswald Cobblepot bit is it Max Shrek's nose off in Batman Returns? Is that his name? I
Yes.
can't remember. I feel like that's the guy who plays Nosferatu actually. And I might
Yeah,
be
that is the
I
guy that
incorrect.
re
plays Nosferatu. Yeah.
No, his name's Max Shrek. It is.
There can be two things, I
There could be
guess.
two
Yeah.
Max Shreks, and we've got it. When he bites his nose. Oh, Jesus Christ. Actually, it's not. Is it Max Shrek? I can't remember. Anyway, the
Is
nose
Batman Returns a
biting off.
Christmas movie while you're here?
Yeah, the nose biting off is always horrific.
Yeah.
And
Does she
this,
then kill him with the axe? Or does he just
yeah,
die
she
of
goes
being a nose
absolutely
bit off?
ham. She goes absolutely ham on him with the axe.
Yeah, so she
Yes.
does.
Yeah, absolutely brutalizes him, and it is great. Eat shit.
Eat
Um,
shit, Max, you wrong un.
yeah,
Yeah. I yeah, and then as she walks away, we hear Billy in her head and says, "Don't be scared. I am like
yeah.
obviously the cycle begins anew."
We have got to get a sequel.
I would love it.
Surely.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have
Mike
got
P.
to.
Nelson,
It'd be great.
please.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So there we go. That is Silent Night, Deadly Night, the remake. Shall we rate it? Shall we give it a rating?
I think we bloody
Rate
should, you know.
rate good or rate bad. Pluses and minuses allowed. A to F. John, how would you like to rate Silent Night, Deadly Night 2025?
You're going to have to help me out with the A to F scale because I always feel like I get it wrong whenever I come on here. So I'm used to letterboxed stars, and I reckon I've seen a couple of high ratings. I purposely haven't rated it, and I've logged it on Letterboxd, but I purposely haven't rated it yet, and I'm
Yeah.
going to after this. And I feel like for me, it's a 4 out of 5 stars, which is a very strong 4 out of 5 stars. But how would you say that fits into your scale? Where would you
I'd
Now, with
say
an
that
say
Excel
is?
sheet up, John, I could translate that into
I feel
numerical
like
values
it's
for you, but
anywhere
I would
from
say
B
it's a
plus
yeah.
to
B
A
I
plus.
feel that's B
minus.
plus territory.
I
Yeah.
feel like, my God, you know what? B plus sounds lower. I had so much fun with it, but I'll stick with that with a B plus. It's really, really good. It's a very, very strong B plus for
Mm.
me, if that's what it is. 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I think that's a belter.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good rating, I think. Solid, much more than I expected it to be. I would say B plus. I was thinking B plus. I don't know if I go into A territory. As I said, the Snatcher stuff maybe doesn't quite work for me. It takes off. I feel like it takes away the attention as well from Billy's story and potentially Max just being the focus of being the big bad. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. It was heartfelt. It was funny, and it was brutal. So, and I think it was a great remake as well. I think that's what remakes need to do, don't they? They need to just respect that the original exists, respect the source material, don't remake it shot for shot. Just give us a new sort of version of the film, a new take on something without it sort of being too on the nose. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Rounding
How
out
did
the trio, then you know what? As I was gonna, B plus felt about right going in there, but I've talked about it, and you know what else? It's fucking Christmas. A minus.
A
We're
minus? There we
we're in A
go.
territory because all those things you just said. It is a fun
Unexpected.
movie, and I think we've had so much. The more I've thought about it, like the world is dark and depressing enough. There is a great deal of for a film in which several people get axe murdered. It has a great deal of hope to it, and it's awfully sweet. It's funny, it's nice, but it is a very, very stylish horror movie, and I've said this before and I shall say it again, we need films remade that didn't meet their potential
Yeah.
when they first came out and are maybe a little bit more overlooked or a little bit forgotten or don't hold up so well in the modern era. This is Silent Night, Deadly Night, in my opinion, is the exact type of film that wants remade and reimagining. We don't need a new, you know, with respect to the people that are doing it, we don't need a new The Thing. It's a timeless classic. It's fine. But films like this, remake them all the time. And like, I just loved the tone about it, the style about it, the way they use the title cards for the murder victim target that had been set up.
Mm.
Wonderful stuff. I know that I will watch this again when it's available, like on home video release next Christmas. I might even go so far as to say, I don't do this willy nilly. Get myself a lovely physical copy of this. I think it might be going on the Epic shelf.
I was going to say the same thing after just exactly what you said. I'm a big physical media collector, and this is one that's getting like this is going on my shelf
Yeah.
for sure.
Hell yeah. Sounds
There we
amazing.
go, everybody.
There we go. Well, John, thank you so much for joining us again. It's been a pleasure as always. Where can our listeners keep up to speed with you with any updates on, new films or new 600-page books you have coming out?
Yeah, there's not much happening online from me right now. It's been a pretty quiet year for me probably, but johncrinan.com, JOHNCRINAN has links to everything, and there'll be a few things kind of getting announced and coming. You'll start to see a bit of footage and maybe a trailer or two and coming out. Some news over the next 3 to 6 months.
Yes.
So yeah, keep an eye out. But that's
We
it's been
definitely
great to
will.
be here, guys. Thank you very much. I see Andy every so often because we're pretty close in the world. Ben, I don't see you nearly often enough, but I'm really glad that we're going to get to see each other quite
Yeah.
soon. And it's been wonderful to see your
Next
faces and
month.
chat.
Looking forward to it, John.
Yeah, and
Obviously,
we'll all see each other in various combinations for some trauma in January, and then of course, John, Friday Fresh Glasgow is right around the bloody corner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have shouted out the Refuse Trauma tour, but anyone that's in London, Bristol,
yeah.
or uh, Sheffield, come along. I'll be at all three,
Yeah.
and then Fright Fest. Yes. When are we getting tickets? When it's like January
January something? Yeah,
19th or something like that. Yeah,
line up and tickets January.
we're ready. I'll
There's,
be there.
Amazing.
there's a spare room for you, Ben, if you decide to make a trip up. You're very welcome.
I reckon I could
No
do that.
pressure. Make
Why not? I didn't
get
go
the new
last
year out the way.
didn't go last year, did I? So why not? Sounds good. But yeah, we did give the Trauma tour, the Lloyd
Beautiful.
Kaufman Trauma tour, a shout out last week. But yeah, I'll be joining you for the Romeo and Juliet screening, and Andy will be joining you for the Poultrygeist
I'm
screening.
so excited. I'm so excited.
Hell
And
yes.
I'll be at the London one, so if anyone's going, catch me on social media and tell me you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Right.
Awesome. Right
Okay.
then.
So, next week, quiz. Christmas
That's
quiz,
right.
the biggest quiz ever.
The biggest quiz ever, everyone.
The
Three
biggest quiz ever.
teams.
Not just the biggest horror hangout quiz ever, the
Whoa,
biggest quiz ever. That's right.
three
No pressure, Andy.
teams.
Three teams. Have you announced the teams, Ben? Are you ready to talk about that?
I think we've announced the teams, haven't we? But yeah, so essentially the team of me and Luke, a horror hangout team as usual every year. The team of Aaron Truss and Jake West, I guess the Phantasm fan team, and the team of Kat Hughes and Jed Shepherd as well. Um, and it's going to be
We'll allow them to choose their own collection, their
everyone
own
could
connection.
choose their own collective
Miscellaneous.
names. We haven't assigned a collective name to anybody just yet, but yeah, looking forward to it. Probably the most competitive one yet, I
We're
would
going to have
say.
to write some
Yeah.
hard questions, Ben. I got some work to finish up for the
Okay.
big day.
Looking forward to it. It's always a
What a
good way to
lineup.
round off the year, isn't it?
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Right, for now though, get yourselves to bed. Don't be naughty, everybody, because if
Don't
you
be
do,
bloody
especially if you're
naughty.
really naughty like a Nazi, you might get killed. Santa.
That's ever so naughty. Thanks for listening. Enjoyed the show. Become a patron over at patreon.com/horror hangout. Thanks to Taj Easton for our theme music. Thanks to Acast and Rusty Quill for hosting the show. Please consider giving us a rating or review, or head on over to Fred's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. or horrorhangout.co.uk for everything in one place. Beautiful. And we'll see you very soon, John.
See you soon. Thank
Merry
See you
you.
almost
soon.
Christmas, everybody. Good
Merry
night for now.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.